That. Hey, what's up, Blue? Great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you. Um, how's it going, everyone? I hope everyone had a great day. Um, I want to talk to Dr. Blitz about time. When I see that scumbag Dr. Blitz, I'm going to have a discussion with him about time. Um, I don't know. There seems to be a contradiction. There seems to be like a contradiction in William Lane Craig's model of creation. So William Lane Craig thinks that God is atemporal and then he becomes temporal as he creates things. But then I think he's also a relationist about time. That's a catastrophic problem for William Lane Craig because relationism holds that time just is the relation between various objects that have the capacity to change. So for example, you don't want to say like time is, I don't know, let's say I throw the ball across the room. There's the moment where the ball's in my hand and the moment where the ball's across the room. What the relationist about time wants to say is that time just is that relation there. There's like a separation between these two moments, and then that's what time is. It's like a you might want to say that it has like the ontology of like a family tree. Um, but I suspect that there's an incompatibility here between being a relationist about time and then holding to A theory and thinking that there's like creation from a moment where God exists without anything else. Because so in order to have the first moment of time, it would need to be relational. So it would need to stand in like a temporal relation with like some other moment of time, but that would imply that there's other moments of time at the first moment of time. Surely it can't be like the moment before that because then you have time before time. So I don't know. I guess I I think Dr. Blitz would have some thoughts about that. So we'll see if that scumbag rears his head. I think it also might play into the Hartle-Hawking state. Um, there's like a, you know, alleged Schmedophile Stephen Hawking had like a proposal for a cosmological model where the time begins to exist after not existing or like existing in like imaginary time. And I think that this sort of argument would work against something like that as well. So I don't know, it makes me wonder. But anyway, I don't know why the fuck my ear is so red. I'm gonna go check my thermostat.
If you're on TikTok, don't forget to tap the crap out of that screen and send your heart me, and then send a Go Popular. Each one of those is 1 coin, and they help a ton to get the stream out to the algorithm.
Frankly, Frank says that he got here before the notification. I have horrible news for you, Frankly Frank. Anyway, hey, if you're in that guest request box, if you disagree, if you think that God is real, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. I also ask that you have some reason to think that God exists. If you don't have some reason to think that God exists, don't request to join. And with that, we'll go to the very first guest.
Hey, what up, bro? We talked before.
Okay. Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 34, brother.
Yeah, and what religion?
Christian.
Okay, what makes you think God exists?
It doesn't. I don't think he exists. I know he exists. There's a difference between thinking and knowing.
I agree there's a difference between thinking and knowing. However, all forms of knowing something are going to be a form of thinking it. In order for something to be known by you, you would need to think it. So for example, if I don't think that 2 + 2 is 4, if that's not one of the things that I believe, I certainly can't know that 2 + 2 is 4. All it means to believe something is just that you affirm it to be true.
Okay, I would agree with you on that. That would be a fact, right? 2 plus 2 is 4. That's a fact.
So what?
That's a fact. That's
A
true.
fact? Sure.
A fact.
Okay, yeah.
So, but I don't see your analogy where it lines up that God doesn't exist.
Wait, sorry. I'm asking you, for what reason would I think that God does exist?
So, were you ever a Christian?
I'm not sure the relevance of that. I'm just asking, like, what's the evidence that
No,
God
no.
exists?
Well, I'm going somewhere with this. So,
Yeah, I was once a
having
Christian.
having God in your life, you know, you don't live a perfect life, but
Mhm.
compared to Him not in your life, I just think life is chaos.
Okay.
And that, like you use that analogy, 2 plus 2, like God plus in my life is a better life for me
Mhm.
in my
And
life because I know for a fact that it is true. His word is true
how do you know that for a fact? What makes you know that?
because I know. I
Yeah.
just
How do you
know.
know it? You just
I
know
know
because
for
you
a
know?
fact.
That's circular.
Yeah, it's not circular. It's a
It
fact.
is. Saying like you know something because you know it is circular.
Why do you say that?
Because
Why don't you see that
your
as a fact?
justification for the conclusion is literally the conclusion itself. Your conclusion is that God exists, and your justification for that conclusion is that God exists.
It's just a fact. I think you're just
Prove
trying to
it.
cherry pick. I just
Prove that it's a
I'm
fact.
telling you. But the reason why
Prove
you
it.
don't believe is
Prove it.
because
Go ahead and prove that God exists if it's a fact.
it's just a fact. You got to read for
Okay.
yourself. It has
That's
to be
circular. That's also
it
circular.
has to be a personal
Do you have
relationship.
like
And
some
if
sort of
you
like real reason to think that God exists? Or did you like if your
I know
debate
he's
strategy relies on you coming in here and just like affirming the conclusion a whole bunch of times without any justification, I think you're gonna be, I think you're in for a rude surprise when I ask you to provide evidence for your claim.
I don't think I am. I know for a fact that he
Okay. We can only do that so many times. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. I also ask that you have some sort of reason to think that God exists. If you don't have a reason to think that God exists, don't request to join. How's it going, the glorious gospel? If you're off the app, I can't hear you. You got to be on the app. Return to the app. Return.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you?
I am almost forgot how old I was. I'm 34.
Okay. What religion?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Say it again.
What
Say it
religion?
again.
Is there a delay?
Christian.
It feels like there's like a wicked delay.
I think so. I can hear you though. Can you hear me?
When do you hear this? Tell me when.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes,
There seems to be a delay.
I can hear you. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Yeah, please. Well, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all the good stuff. While we wait for him to go out and come back in. Yeah, you also, you also can't be driving. That's like kind of the hidden stipulation, although it doesn't come up very often. So I don't usually list it, but it is against TikTok terms of service to be driving. Although, I would love to discuss with somebody who has like some idea what they're talking about. People said that guy's a minister. I always love debating ministers because they know things. They're not they're like familiar with arguments. They've like heard the word arguments, or they've heard the word argument. I don't know. They have like apologetics. I guess I enjoy going against like an opponent who doesn't just get spawn killed. Whoa, you've been reading Intelligent Virtue? It's a banger book, isn't it? It's a great fucking book. Would I debate that Jesus is a real person? No, I think Jesus is a real person. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you? I'm not driving. I'm actually on the side of the road, so I'm
Okay.
free. I'm good.
Sure. Yeah, what makes you what religion are you and how old are you?
I'm Christian. I'm 34.
Okay, what makes you think God exists?
You mind if I ask you a question before I go into uh my argument? I guess I can say.
Yeah, go
Mind if I
for it.
ask you one question? Um, it's pretty much the same question on your end. Is what makes you think that God don't exist?
Hmm.
What is like your best? What you feel is your most solid argument that says this is like my main one out of my top three
Yeah, I think
or my
the
top five? What would you say your go-to mental is?
yeah, I think the Proclus dilemma is pretty unstoppable. Do you think God was always creating, or do you think he began creating at some point?
Did he begin creating at some point,
Yeah, was he always creating,
or was
or
he
did
always
he be
creating? You
yeah,
say?
exactly, yeah.
I would say he started creating at some point.
Then God changes. He changed from not creating to creating, which means that he's in time, which means that he didn't create time.
So you say he's not within time? Did he create time?
No, he must be within time because he changes. All things that change are in time.
And that's based off of what?
Which premise there
Everything
do you
that's
want
within
justified?
time changes based off
Yeah,
of what?
because if nothing happens, then nothing changes, which means every time something changes, something happened. But all an event is something that happens, and all events are in time, which means that all changes must be in time.
Okay, so if God created time, that means that God changed.
Yes, because he went from not creating time to creating time. He began to
And,
create time
and
after not creating time, so he underwent a
okay,
change.
okay, so if God went from not creating to creating, which means that God changed, then tell me why would that somehow justifies God not being real?
Yeah,
I
insofar
don't
as
get
he would
the
be in time, which
connection.
means that he's not the creator of time, which means that he's not an ultimate being. He's not sovereign over things like the universe, because time is a fundamental substance of the universe.
Okay, and who created the universe?
The universe always existed. Certainly, it wasn't God on the basis of the dilemma that I'm giving you.
Okay, so if the universe always existed, it never started to exist, which means the universe is God.
No. God specifically is a personal ultimate foundation. We can arrive at that conclusion based not just on like church history and like the history of the God conceptions throughout like the history of philosophy. God has been deemed to be an ultimate being, but one with
Okay.
a mind. And that also reveals itself in our everyday language. We refer to God with personal pronouns. We say, you know, he loves you, or the reason for this is only known to him. So, whatever type of being God is, God must be personal. I don't think that the universe itself is a personal being.
Okay. So the universe itself is not a personal being. Um, do the universe have a job that it does?
I don't know what that question's
Do it
asking,
have
but this feels like a
intelligence?
derail. Would you agree that God's not the creator of time?
Let me ask you this. Can I?
Okay, we arrived at a bit of a
I'm sorry. Say it
contradiction, so I
again.
just want to make sure that we're like consolidating the points as they arise. Would you agree that God is not the creator of time?
No, I would not agree to that. No.
Okay, then we need to actually rewind the tape a bit and
Can
go
I ask you
back.
a question?
Do you
Okay.
agree that God changes?
Yes, God changes.
Sure. So then God goes from a past state to a present state.
So, okay. Your concept of God comes from where?
Wait,
mind if I
sorry, do
ask
you want
you
to
that?
answer my question?
Like everything that
I just don't know why you're trying to derail
sorry,
to a
go
separate
ahead.
point. Let's just stick with the point that we were already discussing. You asked
No,
me for
it's
my
not
best argument
derailing.
against
It's
God. You know, I gave you my best argument against God. Before we derail to something separate, let's just stick with the
and
point. So would you
can you
agree
ask your
that,
previous question
yeah,
again?
in virtue of God changing, would you then agree that God goes from a past state to a present state?
Yeah, God can go from a past state to a present state while remaining in his past state.
That's a contradiction. He would be both in a
That's the
past
point.
state and a present state.
Are you in a past state and a present state?
Nope. I'm only in a present state.
So so can I
I'm
ask
not
you this?
in the state of being 5 years old
uh,
right now.
Are you in the state of being a biological man, as I can see you are?
Yeah, like currently, yeah.
Okay, can I ask you this question, please? If you are a biological man presently, that means that you was a biological man yesterday. Am I right?
If by biological man you mean like an adult human male, then there's going to be some time
I
in the
mean, a
past at which I was not a
biological,
man.
yeah. I mean, I would
Do you mean like a
assume that
male?
you're not a woman. Just being
Yeah, I'm not a woman.
yeah,
So
a
are you
male,
asking?
biological male.
Sure,
Okay,
sure. Yeah,
if you are,
for as long as I
I just wanted to
existed,
establish this question
yeah,
real
for as
quick.
long as I existed, I was a
Yes.
male, but I'm a male right now. If I wasn't a male right now, if somehow I changed from being like a male to being a female, and right now I was a
Okay.
female, I wouldn't say that right now I am a male.
Okay, can I ask you this question?
Okay, wait, would you disagree with
If
any of
you
that
was a
analysis?
male, if I want to get to that, but I didn't finish asking my first question to you, if you don't
Okay,
mind. So
sure.
if you was a biological male yesterday, last week, last year, and you are a biological male right now,
hmm
then you went from past to present.
Yeah,
So that would be the same argument that you use against God
but right now
to
I'm no
somehow
longer
prove that
past, is the point.
you're no
You're saying
longer
that God is
past, but
both
was you a
past
male?
and present.
Exactly. So if you was a male
I am not
yesterday and
both
you are a
past and
male,
present right now. I'm only present right now. I'm not past and present.
so
I don't
yesterday
occupy
don't
like two
exist
separate
according to you.
times. Wait, sorry, do you think that you exist at two separate times at the exact same time? Like right now, do you exist at
So,
two times?
so my question was actually on you, and I think you're trying to move the questioning to me. I'm
Because
asking
what
you,
you're
did you
asking me
exist
is like the
yesterday?
claim that you've made is like gibberish, like obvious gibberish. You're saying that right now, God exists both in the
Yes.
present and in the past. You're saying that I exist
Yeah,
both,
if
right? That
God,
right now I exist
yes.
both in the present and in the past. That right now I exist at two separate times. That's gibberish.
So if you didn't exist in the past, then that means you just got here.
I did exist in the past. I no longer exist in the past right now.
So no one should ever have a past conversation with you if you didn't exist in the past.
Wait,
That's
what?
gibberish,
Because the
and that don't
past
make
used
sense.
to be the
Me,
present. You're not
can I repeat it
tracking.
again? No,
Wait,
I
sorry,
don't
can
think
you
you're
repeat
tracking. Let
back
me
to me what
repeat
my
it.
answer was? Or were you not listening?
Can I repeat this again? Because I don't think you answered my
Okay,
my
well, I
point.
answered it pretty
If you
directly.
didn't
If you want to
exist,
hear like the exact
if
same answers to the questions that you've asked, I mean, if your debate strategy relies on asking like questions
no,
to
it's
prove
not
your
asking
point, which is like
questions.
you literally are asking questions. I don't know why that's the part you would disagree with.
All right,
You don't think you're asking
let's start from
questions?
scratch.
I think you're like extremely
Let's start.
confused.
No, let's start from scratch.
Okay.
Did you exist? And I'm gonna talk slow.
Yeah.
Did you exist yesterday?
Yeah, I existed yesterday because yesterday was at some point the present.
Okay.
Yes.
If you existed
I no longer
yesterday,
exist yesterday right now.
You no longer exist yesterday.
Yeah.
What is
I
yesterday
existed when yesterday was the present. When yesterday is no longer the present, I no longer exist then.
So is the present the present?
The present is the present.
How can the present be the present when what you just said is no longer present?
Because
That make a
now
world
it's the
of sense.
past.
Now it's the past. So
You're getting
hold
confused
on.
by the concept
We're
of the
always
passage of
I'm
time.
not,
Holy shit. Wait,
I'm not getting
let's
confused.
let's just calm down
I
there.
think I'm backing.
There's really no reason to
I
be getting
think I'm
upset. Just
kind of
chill
like,
out. If you think that
no,
you're
no,
doing well in
I'm
this
not upset.
debate,
I'm just,
then
I
you're
just want you
not
to hear.
tracking even a little bit. This has been like a pretty brutally one-sided conversation.
No,
You're literally claiming to me that the present is the past. Like, what are you talking about?
What question would you like to ask? What question would you
Right
like to ask
now,
me
do
if
you
you think I'm only
exist
playing one
at the
side?
present and the past at the exact same time?
Yes.
Is the present the same time
Would
as
you
the
like for me to
past?
prove it to you?
Is the present the same time as the past?
Is the present the same time as the past?
Yeah,
No, it's not the same time as the
that's a
past.
contradiction. You're saying that you
No.
exist at the exact same time in the present and the past, but also that it's not the same time between the present and the past. So it's both the same time and not the
Okay.
same time. You're contradicting yourself.
Okay. Can I now answer
Do
your
you
question?
reject
Can I
that
ask
you're
you a question,
contradicting
please?
yourself? Like, which part of this would you reject?
I can't accept that I'm contradicting myself if I can't actually contend with what you just said,
Maybe I could type it out and you
or
could
else
tell
it's
me
just a
which part you
one-sided
disagree with.
conversation.
Okay, so you believe that
Oh no, I
you
understand.
exist
I
at
understand what you
both
said.
the
So you're
past
asking me. Let me repeat
and the
back to you:
present
the past
at the same
and the
time.
present.
The past
Okay.
and the present are not the same time.
Now I get. I don't think you have to type it out.
If you exist
Save your fingers,
at two
please. Save your
times
fingers.
at the same time, then those two times are the same time. Therefore,
Okay.
the past and the
Can I ask
both
you a question?
are and are not the same time. So would you reject premise 1, 2, or 3?
Okay, that's so. In the past, what was your name in the past?
Would you
And is
reject
that
premise
presently
1,
your
2, or
name
3? I
now?
just don't know why you're trying to run.
It's not running. I think you're having a one-sided conversation.
Just reject a premise, bud. I got premise
And
1, I got premise 2, and I got premise 3 all on board. They're highlighted. To avoid the contradiction, do you reject premise 1, 2, or 3?
it's not whether I reject premise 1, 2, or 3. The
It
thing
is.
that you're doing that I don't think that you are aware of is that you're going off of a premise that you provide for everyone. It's very
Yes,
subjective.
you agreed to them. I don't know if you're aware of
And
that.
I don't know if you understand the difference.
Maybe you
I'm sorry,
forgot
say
that
it
you
again.
agreed to these, but I asked you all of these and you agreed to them.
Okay, let me ask
If
you
you
a
want to
question.
unsay one of them, you can tell me which one of them you no longer agree with, but I need you to tell me which of these do you disagree with.
After I agree, can I make my comment or my question to you? Is that
Sure.
fine? After I agree to you. Okay. I just want to make sure we're having a fair conversation with each other. All right. So you said premise 1 is you existed at both the past and the present at the same time. And premise 2 is what? The past and the present are not the same time. I'm gonna just go with 1. All right. For the sake of time, no pun intended. I'm gonna just go with 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. So then you would agree that God is not both at the present and the past simultaneously.
The reason why that's a logical fallacy of what you're doing is you're comparing me to God.
Okay, but you would say God is at both the
You see
past
what
and
I'm
the
saying?
present at the same time?
Like if I wanted to know about you, I'm not going to ask about your sibling.
Sure.
To find out truth about you.
But
that
you
don't
would
make
say
sense.
that this is true of God, that God does exist in both the past and the present at the same time.
100% true.
Sure, then God is in
When it comes
time.
down
You
to
just
us,
conceded.
okay, I don't think you let me finish a sentence.
Okay. Well, I can type out the next argument, then you can ask your question if you want.
No, I'm saying if you're going to have a live TikTok, I think you want to have a live TikTok because you actually want to conversate with people. Am I right?
I do, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Yeah, that's the only reason you would come up is to actually let someone talk, and then I hear you talk. So let me ask you this question. The comparison that you are making is with me and with God
Hmm.
as if you want me to stand in God's shoes. I'm not God. God, however, is past, present, and future. That's what makes him God. I, on the other hand, can, to a certain extent, be in the past and in the present at the same time. What do I mean by that? My name is Quinn. I am not just Quinn right now. I was Quinn 20 years ago. I was
Hmm.
Quinn yesterday.
Hmm.
Yesterday still exists because everyone around me can validate that Quinn was here 20 years ago. So I didn't change so far as when it comes down to those certain aspects. But to compare me with God, I think that's when things is like kind of falling apart because I'm not God, but God is past, present, and future. On your end, I want to ask you, you said your defense as of why God is not real. Will
Hmm.
you mind repeating that to me?
Hmm. Well, I mean, at this point, we have
What
a
comes
separate
to your mind to say
contradiction.
God is,
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Yep. So here's the contradiction. So you claimed just now that God exists at both the past and the present at the same time. If God exists at both the past and the present at the same time, then God is in time. Therefore, God is in time. If God is in time, then God did not create time. Therefore, God did not create time.
Do you believe in time?
Do you want to reject a premise, or are you just going to dodge?
No. It's
Do
no.
you disagree with premise
So
1, 2, or 3 here?
I'm not asking you a I'm not asking you a question. I'm asking you not a question, excuse me. I'm asking you to make a statement in regards to why don't you believe God
It's
is
literally,
real?
it is literally right there in front of
Without
you.
using me as a foundation.
Yes, it is
Don't
literally
use me
right
as a
there in front
foundation.
of you.
And what is that? Can you verbalize that for
I
me?
actually already verbalized it like 5 seconds ago.
Can you do it again
Okay,
if you don't
yes.
mind? Even probably for
Premise
someone that's
1,
watching.
God exists at both the past and the present at the same time. Premise 2, if God exists at both the past and the present at the same time, then God is in time. Premise 3, if God is in time, then God did not create time. Therefore, God did not create time.
If so, can I let me go that down to that last one. If
Mhm.
God is in time, God did not create time.
Yeah, he would have to create
Okay.
himself.
Okay, he would have to create himself. So if God is in time, you said God did not create time
Yes,
if he is within time.
because he would have to create himself, correct?
And the foundation that you're coming from is simply based off of you.
Nope. You can't create yourself. A thing, non-existence can't cause
So
existence
so
because it lacks
if
causal
something
power.
didn't create, okay. And if something didn't create itself, that would make it not God,
If
correct?
something didn't create itself, that would make it not God. If something didn't create itself, I don't think anything creates itself.
So
So,
nothing creates itself. So if there was a God, what would that entail in order for God to really be true?
well,
What
I
would
don't
that
think that that
mean?
could be. I think that God's existence is a contradiction based on what I'm providing you. So, do you reject with premise 1, 2, or 3?
So you don't believe in eternity then? Like things outside
Do
of
you
time.
reject premise 1, premise 2, or
Can
premise 3?
can I would like for you to
Please
kind of
stop
conversate with
dodging.
me on this point. No,
Please
don't.
kindly stop
I don't want you to
dodging.
accuse me of dodging.
You
I'm just
are. It's like
asking you, do
very
you
blatant.
believe in
The argument's right there on screen. If you don't reject a
no,
premise, then the conclusion just follows.
okay, that's fine. You mind if I ask you, do you believe in eternity?
By eternity, what do you mean?
Things outside of time.
Sure.
It's a simple question. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just literally
Yeah.
rationally asking you a
Yeah, I believe
question.
in
Do you
things
believe in
outside of
things
time. Like,
outside?
for example, I think like numbers exist outside of time.
Okay.
So do you reject premise 1, 2,
So
or
it
3? Speaking
so
of numbers.
okay, if things exist outside of time, all right, like the universe. You said that the universe don't have a beginning or an ending, but you don't know how the universe got here. How did the
Do you want
universe
to?
get here?
Oh
Can you
boy, are you really just going to dodge and derail? Why would you think I would allow this? The premises
No,
are
I just
highlighted.
want to.
They're on the screen. If you don't reject a premise, you have to accept the conclusion. Unfortunately, that's just how logic works. What you're doing right now, it's like accepting that all men are mortal and accepting that Socrates is a man, but rejecting that Socrates is mortal. If you accept the premises,
Well,
it
can
just
you?
necessitates the conclusion. So you need to reject a premise
Where?
or accept the conclusion.
Let me ask you. For you to believe that the universe was always here, what are you basing that upon?
We're literally never going to get an answer to this question. This is so sad.
I don't. No, I just think you can't answer it. Like, how
Okay.
did the universe get
That's
here? That's a
fine.
fair
Now that
question.
you've like effectively conceded my argument that God doesn't exist because you can't answer it or even engage with it anymore. Yeah, no problem.
No,
Um,
no, I think it's an
change always
honest. I think it's an
existed.
honest question. If I ask you, how did the universe get here?
If change existed,
Save. I'll please save your fingers. Save your fingers because I can't see what's on the screen. I don't
then
have my glasses.
time
So
always
save your fingers,
existed.
please.
That's okay. I'll read it out. It's just for the
How
reference of the audience.
how did the universe? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for
Time
that.
always existed. If time exists,
So for the reference of the
then space
audience,
exists. Therefore, space always existed. If
okay,
space-time
always
exists,
exists. Okay.
then the universe exists. Therefore, the universe always existed.
And I only asked you to save the typing because I have about a good 3-4 minutes. That's why I asked
That's
you.
okay. Yeah. So here's the proof that the
Usually I don't
universe
have a
always
lot of free
existed.
time. What is the proof that the universe always existed?
Yeah,
And
because
how can you
change
prove
always
that?
existed, and if change always existed, then time always existed. But if time exists, then
When were
space-time
you?
exists.
Okay. In this short 3 minutes that I have left, because I actually have to run.
Mhm.
Within if time, so you said space always existed, right?
Yeah.
When were you born?
I was
What
born
year
like
were you
25
born?
years ago, 2001.
2001. Okay, prior to 2001, how in the world do you know what's going on if you're not even here in the first place?
Are you asking like with certainty? Well, just because change coming into existence is an impossibility, because for change to begin to exist would itself be a change. So there would be change before the first change.
So, okay, repeat that to me again one more
Yeah.
time slowly.
Change can't come into existence because if change came into existence, then there would be a first change. There would be a changeless state that then changes into a state with the first change, but there was a change prior to the first change, so it can't actually be the first change, which means that it's impossible to have a first change that comes into existence, which means that change must have always existed.
Okay, you can prove that how?
I just
With
proved it
like a
to you
book or something?
with like an argument.
So you
It leads to
proved
a
it because
contradiction.
you that's like saying, hey, Q, prove to me that you're a millionaire, and I say, hey, what's your name, sir?
Ian?
Ian. That's like saying, hey, Ian, I'm a millionaire, and you say, prove it to me, and I say, well, I just proved it. I told you I'm a millionaire.
Did you demonstrate a
For you to
contradiction
give
in
me
you
a
not being a
comment.
millionaire?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Did you demonstrate a contradiction in you not being a millionaire? Because I demonstrated a contradiction in time beginning to exist.
And that's the issue. Is based off of your own rational thinking. So which
It's just
everybody
based
has
on
to
the
now
laws of
come
logic.
subject to.
Do you reject the laws of logic?
Well, can you prove to me logic exists?
Yeah. In order to hold the position that logic does not exist, you would need to presuppose that some things are not the case, which automatically presupposes the distinction between what is and what is not, which necessitates things like the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, and the law of identity.
Okay, can you give me an example of that, like in everyday life? Because that's a bunch of words, but can you give me like an everyday example of that? Like, how would I actually see what you said in my everyday life? For a
Because
perfect
it would be a
example.
self-defeating belief to deny logic.
Okay, so it's not a logical thing for me to say God created the sun and the moon. That's not logical.
Yes, although I think that's a non sequitur. I'm not sure how that follows. I mean, I don't think
Okay.
it's logical to think that
If you're
God
not
created the
sure,
universe,
then
but like I
so the
agree with what
simple
you
fact
said. It
that
just
you
seems to
say
come
you're
out of
not
nowhere,
sure.
though.
Okay, let me say this. To say that you're not sure means that you're operating obviously upon a foundation that uh is not certain.
Yeah, typically when
Your
people
foundation is
engage in
not
like
certain to
insane
even.
pivots, I do get a bit confused for a second. Yeah,
So are you certain of? So you're certain that God don't exist? You're 100% certain
yes, yeah.
about that.
There's literally a proof in front of you. Yes,
Okay, and the moon and the sun and the stars doesn't prove it at all.
indeed they wouldn't, because if the universe always existed, then God never created it.
No, I didn't say it always existed.
I'm proving to
I
you that it
said
always
the sun.
existed.
So the sun and the moon always existed.
That doesn't follow. The universe always existed, and the universe was always changing. It doesn't follow from that fact that the things that currently exist, like the sun and the moon or me or you, always existed. These things could have come into existence, but the universe itself always existed.
So you didn't always exist,
Correct.
and I didn't always exist.
Correct.
Based off of what?
Based off of the fact that there's like a beginning to my existence, right? I was born at some point.
So was you conscious before you was born?
I have zero memories, zero conscious experience of before I was born.
And that means that you didn't exist.
Yeah, I have no reason to think that I exist. I mean, what you're positing at this point is like a
All right.
skeptical
So
scenario. Like you're basically asking me like, how do I know that I'm not like a brain in a vat?
I mean, well, your whole argument is also skeptical. You can't be 100%
I think you're
certain. Just
confused
like
about the terms that you're
if I
saying.
say if let's leave the word confused out because you don't know
It's an
everything.
extremely
You see what
relevant
I'm
word.
saying?
Yes, but I recognize when I don't know something, I would never use like a term if I didn't know what that term means. You just use the term skepticism in a way that demonstrates that you have no clue what that term actually means. Skepticism in
Who
this
was the
context
first?
is like skepticism about an entire like class of knowledge or beliefs.
Okay, I stand corrected. Who was the first human beings on the earth? Obviously, human beings have been here for a long time. Who was the first human beings on earth?
The entire population of Homo erectus gradually turned into the entire population of Homo sapien.
Okay, who told you that?
We have fossil evidence of it
And how do you know those fossils are real?
because we can radiometrically date them. The alternative is like some grand conspiracy wherein the entire field of archaeological anthropology is just fucking lying to us. Like, what do you think? What do you think archaeological anthropologists do? Do you think they're just like sitting around all day, like jerking their gherkin,
So
making like fake
you're now
bones?
you're now assuming that you know what they do, and you're literally sitting in your house.
So
I
what I'm
think that's
doing is
kind
I'm
of like
arriving at the best explanation for the data in front of us. Your belief
based off of what they
requires
gave you.
believing insane conspiracy theories. My belief requires believing in the rigorousness of science, which has provided the very microphone that you're spreading nonsense into.
Okay, and you're believing that based off of what random people that you don't even
Why would our
know,
technology
never
work if
met
science
them.
wasn't reliable?
Well, if people told us that a car is a car for thousands of years,
Why does your car
but it was
work
really a
if science
spaceship.
isn't reliable?
Well, that's not my point. I was saying that
I'm
if people
asking
told us a
you,
car was a car,
how do you know? Why would it be the case that all of this technology that we're communicating with would be reliable if our science didn't work?
so you're saying, so I'm not saying that science work or don't work.
You
I'm
are. You're
saying
saying that
that
it doesn't work. You
no.
either accept science
So
or you reject it, and
you're
you're rejecting
tying.
science.
So when did science exist?
Oh
Was
my.
science here or was people?
What a wild pivot.
I mean,
Yeah,
if it's a
the
rabbit hole
scientific
that you
method is
can't
from like the
follow,
1600s, 1700s. It
I
emerged
mean,
with
if you
people
can't
like
follow it, that's
Francis
fine.
Bacon and David Hume.
Okay. And was science here first or was people here first?
Yeah,
It's
people
a
were
good
here before
question, right?
science, which is why
Peop-
if you go back far enough, people have wacky beliefs.
So people created science.
Yes, correct.
Did
Yeah,
science
it's
come
like a
from the universe?
methodology of arriving at certain knowledge.
Okay, did science come from the universe?
In some sense, yeah.
Okay, in
Science is an
some sense.
epistemology. It
Why? And
allows us
what?
to arrive
What
at
in some
specific
sense mean?
knowledge. Yeah, in the
What
sense
in
that it
some
came from
sense mean?
humans, that it's like a tool that's used by humans in order to systematically learn things about the world around us.
So I think that's a contradiction for you to say humans was here first and then science was here because it came from the universe, which
Why
was
would that?
always
Whoa,
here.
sorry.
That's a contradiction.
Nope, that doesn't follow. So, for example, if I had a newborn baby tomorrow, that newborn baby would come from a part of the universe, my wife. And the fact that it comes from a part of the universe doesn't mean that it must have always existed. Like, it doesn't follow from the fact that I came from a part of the universe, my mom, that I always existed. That's like really stupid.
So I thought you didn't exist prior to your birth. How in the
That's
world did you come
correct.
from
That's
the
exactly what
universe?
I'm saying. That is like literally my point. That's like
Can
the
I say
crux
this?
of the argument.
Well, I don't think you get the crux of the argument. If
Oh
a
yeah,
part of you
I'm the
came from the
confused one, of
universe,
course.
if a part of you came from the universe which always existed, how did you not exist prior to
I
your
came
birth?
from a part of the universe.
And which part of you came from the universe?
All of me came from a part of the universe.
Which part of you?
All of me.
So all of you. Is all of
Yes.
you or a part of you came from
All
the
of
universe?
me came from a part
All of
of the
you.
universe.
So your body came from the universe.
A part of the universe, correct, yeah.
A part of the and what part of the universe gave you your existence here in this world?
My
What part of the
mom.
universe? So your mom is the universe.
No, my mom is a part of the universe.
And what part of the universe is that? What street?
I don't even know what
What
question
address
that's
of the universe?
asking.
Yeah, because it don't make sense.
The question that you're asking doesn't make sense. It's like gibberish. I don't know what you mean when you're asking
I
like
know you
what
could
part of the
call it
universe,
gibberish,
like the
but
atoms
I'm
that comprise
asking
her.
you.
Like, do you want like her like
You could
spatial location, like latitude and longitude? Like, I'm not really sure what that question is asking.
listen. Everybody on the live understand what I just said.
Not a
What part
single
of the
person on the live
universe?
understands what you said or thinks that you're doing well in this debate.
Let me say it again. You said you can all of you came from a part, P-A-R-T, of the universe.
Correct.
What part of
My
the
mom.
universe did you come from? And I asked you, is your mom the universe?
No, she's a part of the universe. She's not the entire universe.
All right, I think you defeated yourself. Have a good day, man.
This was so
Be
pathetic,
blessed.
dude. Like, I actually think it would be really sad to
You don't
go
know
through
what
life in
part.
the way
You
that
don't.
you go through life.
But you
And
don't
now
know
you're
what part of the
projecting your own lack
universe.
of understanding of the word part onto me.
It's not lack.
This
If you
is like
ask me,
dead simple, right? My mom is a part of the
if you
universe.
ask,
I came from my
and I
mom.
ask you
So
what
I came from
part
a part of
of
the
the
universe.
universe.
Like the atoms that make her up. I'm not really
If
sure
you
what that
ask
question
me,
is asking.
if you say Q, let me help you understand more. Q, what part of the house do you stay in the most? Oh, I stay in the living room part of the house. I'm asking you. I'm not telling you I stay in my bathroom most
I
of the
bet
time.
that's where all the
I'm
tasty
asking
lead
you
chips
what
are.
part of the Thank you for the joke. I'm asking you what part of the universe did you come from since you're saying a part of the universe?
I came from my mom. My mom is the atoms that, make up my mom. It's the atoms arranged mom-wise.
Okay, how many atoms did it take for it to make up your mother?
I have no fucking idea. Lots.
And that's the point I'm making. There's a lot that you have no idea about.
I agree. I think that there's tons I don't know.
And that's why you don't know
So
what part.
when I don't know something, I just say that I don't know it. But one of the things that I do know is the part of the universe that I came from my mom.
And you said your mom is not the universe.
My mom is a part of the universe. My mom is the atoms arranged mom-wise.
And which part of the universe?
The atoms arranged mom-wise.
And which part of the universe do those atoms come from?
Which part, like the protons and the electrons that make them up? Is that what you're asking?
I'm asking you what
Are you
part
asking, like,
of
where did my mom
everybody.
come from? I mean, my mom came from her mom. So, like, the
Okay,
Adams
no,
arranged
I'm not asking you
grandma-wise.
that. Those of you in the chat, if you understand what I just asked, can you just please say yes without being
Yo,
biased?
if you have no fucking idea what that dude's asking, please
if
say
I
no.
if I ran into you on the street and I said, "Hey, bro,
Bro, it's like
what
a
part
sea of
of
no's. Holy shit. This is, like, devastating. You'd think that there'd be at least one.
so you agree that a part of a thing is the same as the whole of a thing?
No, that's my
A
entire
part
point, is that it's not the case that a
so
part of a
so
thing is the whole of the thing.
uh-huh.
My mom is not the whole universe. My mom's a part of the universe.
And I'm
I'm,
asking
like,
you, what
baffled that you
part
don't
did she come
understand
from?
this. She's the
I'm
specific
baffled that you don't know
atoms
what
that compose my mom. You know, she takes up, like, a certain space in Colorado right now.
Okay,
Like,
do you know
I
what
could
part
point
she's
to my mom in that space and say the
right?
atoms that are enclosed mom-wise, you know, that's my mom.
Right. So you know what part she's in physically in this world. And I'm
Yes.
asking you, what part did she come from in the universe?
She came from her mom.
And what part did her mom come from in the universe?
It's gonna be her mom, and it's gonna keep on going back until we arrive at
And
things
who
like sexual
and who's the
dimorphism, and then it's going to be hermaphroditic in nature. And then you'll go back even further, and you'll arrive at, like, single-celled organisms. And then you'll go back even further, and you're gonna arrive at, like, certain nucleotides that are gonna form, like, RNA fragments that are enclosed by phospholipid bilayers. Then you're gonna go back even further. You'll arrive at things like the formation of the Earth, the Big Bang, and then, you know, you'll go back past the Big Bang, and then there'll be, like, a big crunch. And then
okay.
there'll be various cycles of big bounces and big crunches.
Okay, I'm gonna take the very last thing you said, which is going to take me all the way back to the beginning as far as we can go.
Mhm.
The crunch. Did the crunch come from the universe? Because I'm gonna take that last
Yes.
piece that you gave me.
Yes.
The crunch came from
Well,
the
to be
universe.
clear, the last piece that I gave you is that there's infinite cycles of big bounces and big crunches.
Okay,
The
so
last
the
piece of
infinite
this
cycles
is me
of big
saying, like, it just keeps
Mhm.
going, like the universe goes on forever.
Okay, the universe goes on forever because it's eternal, as you said multiple
Mhm.
times.
Yeah.
And all people come from the universe.
They come from,
So
like, parts of the universe.
it comes from parts of the universe. Do eternity beget eternity?
By eternity, you mean what?
The universe. You said the universe wasn't created, or it
Typically,
wasn't
when people
made,
talk about
correct?
eternity, they're talking about, like, a thing that exists without beginning and without end. Is that what you mean?
So do the universe have a beginning?
No, I don't think the universe has a beginning.
So if the universe don't have a beginning, my brother, and you came from the universe,
I came
how
from a
can
part
you
of the
say
universe.
you have a
Because
all
different
right,
parts of
even
the
so
universe
that
have
part of
beginnings. Oh my, you've been on this and you're still not tracking.
so now different parts of the universe have a beginning and
That's
certain
always
parts
been
don't
the
now?
claim. That's been my claim for the last, like, 5 minutes, yeah. That
No,
parts
that's
of the
the first
universe have
time.
a
Listen,
beginning
bro, that's the
from
first
other
time you
parts of the
said that.
universe.
That's the
Literally
first
think
time
back
you
to the
said
argument
that.
we just had about me coming from, you know, I'm a part of the universe, and I come from my
Right,
mom, who's a part of the universe, and then she comes from her mom, which is a part of the universe.
right.
So it's these things coming into existence, these parts of the universe coming into existence from other parts of the universe.
So certain parts. So now I have new information. It's like breaking news.
Yeah.
Certain parts of the universe have a beginning,
Yeah.
and the ones that we came from is that part that has the beginning.
Yeah. Like the ones that we came from
How do
directly,
you know that?
yes. Because my mom had a
How do you
beginning.
know that?
You know, my mom was birthed by her mom.
But you don't know where the very first mom came from.
I don't know why I would think that
You
there is
can
a
only go
first
back to
mom, that there isn't, like, an infinite regress of the universe, where potentially, if you go back to previous iterations of the universe, there are other moms somewhere in that galaxy.
if someone was to say, "Hey, if this is not true, I'm going to somehow see it," right? Say if I could look into beyond human knowledge, and I was to say, "Hey, I'm about to take a look. If this not true, then I have to do something very bad to you."
Mhm.
Would you take me up on that bet?
What
Or
are
would
you
you say,
asking?
nah, man, would you take me up on that bet or
Yeah,
not? Like, hey, if it's,
can you give the terms
go
again?
ahead. If everything that you're saying was not true,
Yeah.
and I was to somehow be able to see everything in a split second, let's say the universe opened up my mind,
Yeah.
and I was able to see whether what you are saying is true or not. And I told you, hey, bro, if this not true, I'm about to take a look. If this not true, then I'm gonna do something very bad to you. Would you take me up on that bet, or would
Okay.
you be
I'm
like,
not sure I
you
understand
know
this
what,
question. I
you
think
don't
I might be
understand?
unclear as to what you're even asking.
So I'm asking you, how can you really bank on any of this being true if you just wasn't there?
Because the law of
You just
non-contradiction
wasn't
holds
there, like the
universally.
whole crunches
The law of
and
non-contradiction
how
is
far
true,
do that law of
unfortunately.
non-contradiction goes back?
It's true of
Yeah,
literally
but you
every
only been here for what,
proposition.
21 years?
Yep. Doesn't matter. Logic still always holds. There's no escaping logic.
And
When
so
you deal with things that are true or false, you're dealing
you're
with things that
using
are either
logic.
logical or illogical.
So you're using logic when you say certain parts of the universe is where we came from, but you can't tell me which part, and that's
I did
logic.
tell you. I told you like multiple times. I told you like at
they
least
don't have a
like
name?
fucking like 5 or 6. It does have a name. It's my mom.
So your mom is the replacement for the universe.
No, my mom is a part of the universe. You're still not tracking. This
Then
is
you
like dead
still can't
simple
tell me what
too. This is
part.
like so
You
simple.
still can't tell me what
The
part of the
part
universe.
is my mom. My mom is the part of the universe that I came from. If your debate strategy relies on
And
you
I asked
pretending to
you-
not
I asked you-
understand, then I can just re-explain it every time you mistake my position, and then every single person in the audience is going to think that you're like a little bit dumber every single time until at some
No,
point they're
I
just going to
don't.
start thinking that you're like horrendous faith and that this is like the sort of like moral fruits that Christianity produces, like people that need to willfully misunderstand their opponent in order to not get like thrashed by like the obvious answer to the question that they keep on receiving.
Oh, so let me ask you this. So number one, it shows for you intellectual immaturity, because I don't need to throw the word dumb out in order to prove my point, which shows that you do, which
I
means
just think
that you have a
saying true
bad
things is
argument.
good, actually.
No,
I think that if
I mean,
something's
what's
true, then you should say
important-
it. I think that you're a dumb
So
person, if not horrendous
No,
faith.
it's not that. No, I'm just saying I don't need to say that you're not getting my point, or that you have like some type of mental retardation because you're not getting my. I don't need to put that
Okay.
out there because
I mean, you could
I'm
totally
asking you a
say that if you
legitimate
want, but
question.
if you said that, I just think the chat
No,
would
I
make fun
wouldn't. I
of you
don't
like
need to
even
say it.
further. I think that if you were to
No,
call
I
me
don't.
that on the basis of the way that you performed in this debate, like I just think people would think that that was like a little bit ironic.
No, I don't need to. I don't need to say that about you because, as everyone can see, you cannot even tell me what part of the universe. And you said
I've
that
said it
part
like
is your
10 times at
mom.
this point. The part of the universe that
And
produced me is my mom.
so, can you prove to me that your mom is the universe?
I'm not
without
claiming
you
that my mom
telling
is
me?
the universe, that she's a
Or
part of the
part of the
universe.
universe?
You want me
Can
to
you
prove
to
that
me
my
she's
mom's a part of the universe? Do you want me to like show you her in like space? Do you want me to
Have you
like show you that
have
she
you ever
takes
seen
up
the
like
universe?
space? What the fuck are you
No, did you
asking?
see it? Have you ever seen the universe before?
I see parts of the universe.
In your mom.
My mom's not the only part of the universe.
So when you look at all humans, you are seeing a part of the universe.
Each human is a part of the universe. They're not necessarily the same part of the universe unless they're the same person.
And how do the universe look directly without looking at humans?
I'm not sure that that's a well-formed question.
No,
I'm not sure
if we
that
came
there's a
from the
way that you could
universe-
look at the entirety of the universe, because in order to look at it, you yourself would need to be in the universe, so you would need to look at yourself. I think that what you're asking is probably
So no one has
impossible.
ever. So no one has ever seen the actual universe.
People see parts of the
you're defending.
universe. Nobody's seen like the entire
I'm talking about-
universe.
I'm not asking you. I don't want you to run to parts of the universe.
What are you
asking
asking? Are you
if
asking, has
people
anybody ever
actually-
seen all of the universe?
Yes.
No, nobody's ever seen all of the universe.
I rest my case. Have a good day, my brother.
There's no way you think that's a good rhetorical look.
If no one has ever seen
Somehow, like, the 3 minutes that you
whole-
were supposed to stay here for has turned into like 20 minutes. And I think that general relativity offers a pretty compelling explanation of what's going on here. You know, I've been slamming you at pretty close to light speed, which is why, you know, time is passing way slower. It's just like if somebody's traveling on like a rocket ship
No,
at close to the speed of light,
I just feel
there's like they experience like
I
less
just feel
time,
sorry
which is
for you.
why,
I
you
just
know,
feel
it's like
sorry
20
for you,
minutes.
that's all.
Maybe to you it's like been
I
2
just feel
minutes, two and a
sorry
half
for you.
minutes
That's-
because you've been getting slammed so
I
quickly. But
just feel
you know,
sorry
to the
for
rest
you.
of us, it's been like 20 minutes.
I just feel sorry for you. That's all.
Okay.
And my heart is burdened.
There's no need to feel
because it's
sorry
like
for me.
you're
I mean, this is great
defending a
content. I
universe
love
you
this
can't see.
content.
I mean, yeah, it's great, but it's not. It's sad at the same time because you.
I agree. It
a
is
universe
sad.
You never
The
seen,
sadness of
and
this
no one
content
has
is what
ever
makes
seen.
it such great content.
I mean, if you want to defend things and you never seen, more power to you. You never
You literally
seen the
believe in
universe.
God,
You
big
can't tell
dog.
me.
You believe in God.
So we're on the same page.
Have you seen God?
Have you seen the universe?
Have
We're in the
you
same
seen
boat,
God?
brother.
I've seen parts of the universe. Have
No,
you seen parts of God?
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen the whole universe. I've
Yes,
seen parts of it. Have
man
you seen
is-
parts of
man-
God?
Yes, man is created in the image of God.
Am I a part of God?
You are created in the image of God.
Am I a part of God?
Yes, you are part of God.
Is Adolf Hitler a part of God?
Yes.
Is God all good?
Say it again.
Is God all good?
Is he all good? Yes, God is all good.
So Adolf Hitler is good.
I never said
Adolf Hitler's a
Hitler
part
was
of
good.
God. God is all good. So then
Yes.
Adolf Hitler is good.
Mm-hmm. So that's like the same thing as asking.
So
is
wait,
the
just to be
universe
clear,
all
you
good?
think I don't think the universe is all good. Do you think Adolf Hitler is good?
So the universe is evil.
Parts of it, yeah. So wait, but let's not pivot. Let's not pivot away.
Hold on.
Do you think Adolf Hitler is
How
good?
do you not believe?
He's running because he knows he got cooked on that point, dude.
But hold
He got
on,
blown out on this
How do you not-
cosmology. He tried to like do some
How do you-
wordplay, and he committed himself to saying that Adolf Hitler is all good.
But
I
listen,
mean, is there like any
'cause
other
you don't
point that
even know
you'd like
what
to
the
get
image-
Spawn killed on?
What is the image of God?
I've asked people to define this for me before, and they can't give a coherent definition.
I can give you a coherent definition.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you pivot away from you saying that Adolf Hitler is all good.
The image, no, because you don't understand what the image of God is. That's why you're confused.
Mm.
The image of God is the manifestation of human beings in comparison to animals. God is not. We don't never say God is an animal or a bird
Is
or
the Father a
some type
human
of
being?
reptile. The Father, yes, have human qualities. He have
Is he
personhood.
a human being?
All human beings come from God.
Is the Father a
is
human
eternal.
being?
Yes. How would you
Verse?
disprove
Can I
he's
get the
not?
verse?
John chapter 8.
John chapter 8 is going to say that the Father is a human being.
For it is written, the testimonies of two men is true. Is men human beings?
Yeah, where does it say the Father? Let's see the Father. I stand with the Father who sent me. My other witness is the Father who sent me.
And as it is written in your law, the testimony of two
The
men
Son
is
of
true.
Man, then you will know that I am He, and that I do nothing on my own, but speak just what the Father has taught me. That doesn't prove that. I'm telling you what I have seen in the Father's presence. Nope, not there.
So
You
now
belong
you're a
to the
Bible
Father, the devil,
interpreter.
and you want to carry
Did you
out
go to
your father's
theology?
desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding the truth, for there is no
Yes.
truth in him. Where he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Okay, so yeah, none of that proved your point.
So it's right. So for it is written, if you read the Bible, you would know what verse I'm coming from. It is written in your law that the testimony of two men is true. I ask you, is men human beings? Because the testimony of two men that Christ is referring to is him and the Father.
Testimony of two. It
Two
says
men
two
is
witnesses in
true.
my translation.
What translation do you have?
This is NIV. Let's see the NRSVUE.
Do the KJV, because all of them is not
No, this one
exactly.
translates to as witnesses as well. We can just go back to the original Greek. What do we got? Wait, okay, it's John 8, but it's John 8,
I believe it's verse. I can't think of the exact verse, but it's
16.
definitely.
Or wait, no,
Okay.
17, sorry.
For it is written in your law, the testimony of 2 men is true, right?
And in the
that's
law,
definitely
it's been written.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Okay.
Okay,
it's
he's
translating
making
it
a
as
reference,
witnesses.
and he's making a reference to the Father. Okay.
As witnesses, it
calls
doesn't
him-
translate it as man.
Yeah. Well, it says in. So, do you understand the difference between Bible translations?
Yeah.
Or the reason?
Yeah, I
the
understand, like,
reasoning
broadly
behind it?
speaking, yeah.
Okay. Well, some translations are closer to the original than other translations are. Like the Message Bible, just throw it out the window.
Okay.
It's far away from, right?
So yeah, like the one that I quite like, the one that I enjoy, you know, I enjoyed the NRSVUE, which is like the academic standard Bible.
Okay. And he's constantly referred to his God as Father.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that a father is a human being?
Not in this context, certainly not.
Okay. So the image of God is the simple fact that we have a physical makeup that animals don't have.
You think having the image of God
That's
means that you have a physical makeup? Does God have a physical? Does the Father have a physical makeup?
Yes, he came in the person of
So
Jesus
then he's
Christ.
in the laws of physics.
Say it again.
Did God the Father come down?
God the Father came down, manifested in flesh in the person
God
of
the
Jesus
Father?
Christ.
You think Jesus is God the Father?
Yeah, you have a passage that says he's not.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean it's referred constantly as like as the Son, you know. Is Jesus the Son of God?
Jesus is the Son of God, who's also God the Father simultaneously. That's what makes him outside.
Do you think the Son is the Father?
The Son is the Father. Let me ask you this.
We got a minister who doesn't even know his theology. You just rejected the Trinity, bud.
John 14?
You literally just rejected the Trinity. The Trinity explicitly states that, you know, they are not the same being. They're, you know.
Can you show me a passage? Can you show me a passage of scripture that say that they are not the same? I can show you a passage
that comes to you from like the Nicene Creed. But do you reject the Trinity?
I do.
Oh, okay. I wish you would have led with that. Sure. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be like heretical, blasphemous even, that's up to you.
No, the only reason I say that, when Philip said to Jesus, show us the Father, what did Jesus say back to him?
I don't know. What did he say back to him?
Well, this is what he said back to him. Philip, why do you ask, show me the Father? He that have seen me have seen the Father.
Okay.
Can you tell me what is Jesus saying by that?
Do you think, well, sure. I mean, under your interpretation, it sounds like what you want to say is that he's literally
I didn't interpret yet.
That probably what the Trinitarian would say under that interpretation is that they're both God.
Did Jesus say me and the Father are both God?
That they share a being is what the Trinity is claiming. So I think the Trinitarian has like a plausible interpretation of this verse. I think there are problems with the Trinity for sure. You know, I think it's like nonsense, but you know,
it's definitely nonsense. That's why I'm asking you.
What's the point of drawing the distinction between? So you would say that Jesus is his own Father?
And the reason why Jesus is his own Father is because he's not limited to human limitations like me and you. Me and you are mere mortals.
So he fucked his mother?
Jesus is actual. Is not.
He impregnated his mom?
In order for you. So this is
Did God
God
impregnate his own mom?
God is spirit. God is spirit. Who put Jesus
He's like
in the womb
Oedipus,
of
it
Mary?
sounds. But you also think that it's the Holy
Who put
Spirit. So God sent himself to put himself
yes
into Mary.
in the and who else would be into Mary? Who else would have been it would have been?
Like Joseph, or, I mean, probably you want to say that she was a virgin when Jesus was born. So you don't want to say that.
I mean, even
But can I
Muslims,
just get
for a
like can I
perfect
get like a point
example.
blank answer on this? So you do think that God impregnated his own mother?
Yeah, that's what the Bible says. The Bible says that God conceived Christ inside of Mary.
Okay.
Even Muslims agree to this, and for some reason you're using natural whatever to understand the
Oedipus
biblical
Christ.
text. So
Okay. Well, I think
I mean, but at the end of the day,
that's fun.
I'm sitting. Yeah, well, it's just like you taking up for the universe and you never seen it, which is actually kind
I've
of
seen parts of the
the
universe.
same boat as me.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
that.
and
I don't
but you
believe
never
in.
seen the universe.
I certainly don't worship somebody who fucked their own mom.
I mean, well, you're literally saying that we come from the universe and you never
We come from
seen the
parts of the
actual
universe.
universe, which is, I think,
We come from parts of the universe, and I've
and you
seen
don't know,
parts of the universe.
and you don't know which part, which sounds like
I do, and
you're
I've
just
said it like
talking,
multiple times. You're like short circuiting.
and you want
This
us
was a
to believe
losing
that
line of
your
dialogue
mom
when you said it earlier, and it's even worse now because this was like such a horrendous
is
point
worse
for
for you.
you.
Yes, it is. I
And
agree.
now you have
I
to go
agree. It's
back
worse
to
for you.
this. You have to go back to being confused, right? It was a bad look when you were just like confusedly asking the same question over and over again. And now, but it was like an even worse look when you tried to actually engage with the questions. I mean, I can't blame you, but yeah, anything else? All right. That dude's name is the Glorious Gospel. Let me. I'm just gonna make sure I like save this for when I go back to make thumbnails. What? Dude, why the heck? Why is this guy? Does anyone even think about like getting good at like content creation? The YouTube channel that he's like claiming is his in his TikTok bio doesn't even exist. What are we doing? You're letting all the clout go to waste. You're letting all the clout out. What are you doing? All right. Let's read supers. Cranky Old Cuber, thanks so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Welcome as a great Greg. Neck2, thanks so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Welcome everyone who received one. Cranky Old Cuber, thanks so much for the super chat. Hey Ian, love your debates. You were taking a Platonic stance the other day to ground something against a theist. Don't remember full context. Do you like Platonism for that or just for fun? I think Platonism has some plausibility to it. I think that there are reasons to think that Platonism is true. I think that it offers like a certain like explanatory power, although I'm not like married to the position. If the position turned out to be false, I don't know, like I would just change my mind on it. Reverend Nate, thanks so much for the super chat. If all energy and matter disappeared, do you think time would stop existing? That seems to be some debate, and I can't wrap my head around the no view. Yeah, I'm actually reading up on that exact view right now. So if you want some reason to think that that's not the case, let me make sure Dr. Blitz isn't in the fucking guest box before I start spreading all this like physics misinformation. Okay, we're good. We're clear to spread all of the physics misinformation that we want. So my understanding of quantum field theory is that the fields would still exist even if they had the lowest possible energy value at every single point. The fields would not go out of existence even if they had like minimum values across the entire field. What that indicates is that these fields have some sort of existence that's going to be there independent of whether or not there's energy. That the energy is like a property of these fields that is something independent. In fact, what probably you want to say is that the spatiotemporal facts of all of the fuck. Hey, what's up, Quantinaut?
Hi, I heard talk of physics.
Yeah. Let me know if this is false, but is it true that the quantum fields would still exist even if there's like a minimum value at all their points?
Yeah, the fields still exist.
Let's go. Is a minimum value like zero value?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. Is it possible to have zero energy?
Not really. There's you get up to the uncertainty principle, the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, and energy and time don't commute with each other, and therefore, if you take a measurement, there's always going to be some uncertainty in the energy that you detect. And, given that 0 is a pretty precise value, you can't have perfectly 0. It's always going to be some range.
I see. Okay. I think that makes sense. Sure. But yeah, to answer this dude's question, to continue yapping about this dude's question, what the person who takes the substantivalist view about time wants to say is that things like space and time are going to have independent existence of the things within them, that even if there were no objects, like nothing had duration, nothing had extension, that there would still be some sort of like space that was there,
the
time that was there.
The tricky thing is that you can kind of create objects out of just space and time alone, like with gravitational waves, for example.
This is like the hidden forbidden position, which is called supersubstantivalism, which holds that actually all of the physical objects are going to be grounded in space and time, fully grounded in space and time.
I mean, that's certainly the case in, again, as I said, gravitational waves. Now, with our current understanding of physics, you can't just get all the other fields from just space and time alone. You need other quantum fields on top of that. But if you did only have space and time, like no matter fields or anything, you could still have like gravitational waves propagating through that universe.
I see. Okay. Yeah, this is I mean, that's like a position that I don't know if I want to say that I'm like drawn towards supersubstantivalism at this point, but certainly I think if you have an explanation for the other stuff, it's like way more parsimonious than saying, we have like all the other positions are like dualist positions that have to hold that there's like two fundamental things. Like you'd for example, like if you're a relationalist, you think that all space and time are the relations of like distance between objects, or the relations of like duration between events. In like a view like that, you need to posit that there are both like these objects, and then in addition to that there are these relationships between them as being like these two fundamental things. And then if you hold the substantivalist view, you're going to need to hold that there's the space time substance and then the objects themselves. But then for the supersubstantivalist, you only posit one entity, which is space time, and then it gets you all the stuff.
Well, so if you are able to form, well, first a grand unified theory to unify all like the quantum forces with each other into just like a single force that gives rise to all the matter fields and forces on the quantum scale. Once you have that, if you unify that with gravity into a theory of everything, or a TOE, as the acronym goes, then you would have this one like mathematical object that gives rise to all the forces, including gravity and all the matter fields and everything. It probably wouldn't be just space and time. It'd be some more abstract, field of some kind, but maybe Blitz would have a better inclination as to that.
Okay.
String theory is like one example of these.
Fuck, he's here. It's round, guys. It's round. It's not flat at all. It's round.
Hey, from the point of view of an ultra-relativistic neutrino...
You rang.
I
We were just talking about how round the Earth is. How
You damn
obloid,
globers.
how obloid, spheroid, how I don't know what the fucking correct I don't know what the correct word there would be.
Obloid, isn't it?
Yeah, clearly. Oblate. Fuck. Damn, I got caught. I don't know anything about the Earth. No, we were just discussing what the substantivalist or super substantivalist position might look like. Blitz, there was something that I was wondering, actually. I was thinking about this today. So do you think that under the relationalist view of time, that it would make sense to say that time existed if there was only like a single point of space, or let's say let's do time even. Let's say that there's just a single clock and the timeline there's only one point. There's just it's straight up. There's no other points in time other than just this one point. Under the relationalist model, do you think it would
There's only one point of time, or there's a timeline?
There's one point of time. There's only a single moment of time.
So you still got space.
Is there space?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, for the clock, you'd have to pause it. Yeah.
So if there's only one moment of time, it sounds like what you're describing is something without time.
Okay. That's my intuition on it. Okay, now hear this critique. So what the Hartle-Hawking state wants to say is that there's some coming into existence of time. But in order for there to be a first moment of time, it would need to stand in a temporal relationship to something else. But if it's the first moment, there is no other moment for it to stand in that relationship to, which means that maybe you want to say
it does. Wait a minute. But it stands in a temporal relation with future moments of time.
Sure, then you would be committed to B theory for the Hartle-Hawking state.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
I mean, we already know B theory is essentially true.
Yeah, Hartle-Hawking does not make any sense on any other view of time.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, then that's all fine. I also think, but okay, the way that I want to run this argument, are you familiar with William Lane Craig's view of creation?
Mildly. I know he's a neo-Lorentzian, which is crazy. But...
So he thinks that God existed atemporally, and then God starts acting, and then he's in God becomes temporal, basically.
Because by acting, he is now temporal?
Yes.
Or something?
Okay, but I think that it runs into the problem that I just described, which is that he's also a relationalist, which means that at the very first moment of time, and because he holds A theory, there are no other moments of time that have elapsed. Right. This is the first moment. But under relationalism, this actually can't be a moment of time. You need 2 moments of time in order to have the first moment, and it would be at the second one, so you would have time before time.
Yeah, that seems a little bit suspect.
Do you think that argument goes through? What do you think?
Well, so I don't think that you need... I don't know how you're a relationalist and also an atheist. Those two things automatically seem in contradiction, right? Because an atheist wants to say that there is no moment of time except this moment.
That's true. Maybe they want to say that it's conceptual moments between this moment and past moments.
Yeah, that I wouldn't understand how you would make sense of that. Yeah, sure. It's really a question of how WLC understands what time is, because I mean, look, if there's some sort of other relation that indicates the transition for, God transitioning from atemporal to temporal, kind of like in the Hartle-Hawking state, then maybe you can make sense of it. But if he's saying that this is merely a temporal transition, then I don't know what that means.
I just think you have more issues of how do you have a mind in an atemporal state?
Well, yeah, there's that.
You can't deliberate, right? That's the biggest issue in my opinion.
Probably you want to say that it's like eternally deliberated, but I don't. It gets like quite weird. I don't know how to make sense of
Well, you don't
like
want to say eternally either, because eternally means forever, which is a time word. You want to say like atemporally deliberated or something.
yeah.
And
Well,
I don't imagine having a computer that doesn't like need to process in order to. That doesn't make a sense.
sure. I bet Grok would know. Grok,
Probably.
is William Lane what is William Lane Craig's definition of time? Come on, Grok. Well, yeah, everyone knows that he holds to A theory, but is he like a relationalist? I think he's a relationalist. I don't think you can be like an absolutist about time and think that it began to exist. If you're an absolutist about it, then it should have always existed, because at that point, time becomes like the dimension for the possibility of change. So if there's a thing that exists and change is possible, then time would exist. So I don't know. This view is crazy. Okay, wait. Is he a
The
relationalist?
metaphysics of time are really hard.
They are. I've been reading up on
Even
it.
the physics of time is really hard, it turns out.
Yeah.
Like I was working on I branched off a project I was working on, and it, when you do quantum gravity, time is no longer a variable. Time is a variable that you solve for in some sense, and so like trying to make sense of what the equations I was working with even mean. Like, what does it mean for something to evolve from one state to another state if there's no time?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to know what that's even saying.
Like, so there's something called, in quantum mechanics, there's stages, right? First quantization is like what you learn in undergrad. You solve a hydrogen atom. You solve the behavior of an electron around a hydrogen atom with like just a classical electromagnetic field that it produces or whatever. Then there's second quantization, where you now treat the fields as the variables. And those fields live in space-time, and you can have superpositions of different kind of values of the fields. And I recently found out about something called third quantization, where you talk about superposition of the spacetimes. Sorry, superposition of, not even that. It's much weirder than that. You can talk about superposition of the spacetimes. That's your universal wave function. But now you want to talk about a field of universal wave functions. And so you can propagate through the space of universal wave functions and solve systems there. It gets very weird.
That's disgusting. Math was never meant. Sand was never meant to think. This isn't right.
Return to ape.
Return.
This reminds me of when I first learned about Wick rotations. That really messed me up for a little bit.
Okay, what is dark energy a property of?
I don't know.
I guess physics is
Good
fake
question.
then. Let's pack it up,
Good
boys.
question.
It's all over.
I mean, it could be a property of spacetime, but
Okay.
I lean towards it's like some sort of, like field of some kind.
Some dark sector particle.
Yeah.
Okay. But would you say that like the fields are a property of space-time?
Maybe.
Okay. Sure.
Well, okay, actually, I think that probably the more responsible answer is something like the space-time plus the fields on it are one thing.
Space-time.
So it's not like the space-time is more fundamental than the fields, but that the fields are like, that would be like saying, is time a property of space-time? Well, okay, sure. But time is like a part of the bigger thing.
I think I'd
right?
say it's a part of it. I don't know if I'd say it's a property.
Maybe,
Right, and so
maybe you're asking, is it a necessary part of it?
Certainly it seems like a necessary part of space-time. Like time
Well, so-
certainly
'Cause
seems like
One can
So I
think
think
of
that-
like a space-time that doesn't have these fields.
yeah, you could do that. But what I'm getting at is I think probably more fundamental is we need another like space-time together with these fields is like the fundamental thing. And then you can like talk about individual, like in the same way that you can talk about moments of time in space-time, you could talk about distinct fields in the bundle of fields attached to space-time. Like there's one big box that has fields and space-time in it. They kind of live together. But you can think about them separately.
Wait, say that last sentence again.
So you have like this bundle is probably not the right word, like this box, and inside the box is the space-time and all of the fields attached to it. And that's like the fundamental thing, in the same way that you might think that space-time is the fundamental thing, which is a box that contains time and space.
Hmm.
So the box contains the fields plus space-time.
Sure.
And you can look in the box and you can like probe different pieces of the box. So you can probe different fields, you can look at different moments of time, you can look at different places, but it's all like one big thing that's clumped together.
Okay. Sure. And would the wave function monist want to say something like you're able to extract this big box from the wave function?
They would say that the full description of the box is the wave function, yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Or I guess if you're a wave function monist, you'd actually want to say that the box is all of the properties of the wave function.
I see. Interesting. Okay, sure. So then they would hold that all of these properties emerge from the wave function. Which, okay, do you think that that view is like probably correct on the basis of like the Wheeler-DeWitt equations that time is emergent?
That's the really tricky thing. That's what I was
Physics
playing with
debunked
the other
again
day.
twice in 5 minutes.
There you go.
It's
No,
over.
that's literally the thing that I was playing with the other day. Maybe.
Okay.
Or you might have to do third quantization, and now you have a field of universal weight. I don't know. Look, this is complicated. Like and this is not complicated because I'm dumb, and it's not complicated because
math as much.
What?
This is why I work with equipment and not math as much.
Yeah, but the math is the fun part. This is complicated because it's really hard to think about the way that we talk about physics if time is an output, not an input, or if space is an output, not an input, right?
I could imagine how that could be the case. Well, I guess, I don't know if you run into this. I don't know fucking anything about physics. I'm talking way out of my ass here, but it's kind of hard to visualize. I think humans visualize things in like strictly like spatial and temporal terms. Like when we're visualizing like an object, we visualize it spatially, and when we're visualizing like an event or like an action or like a verb, we visualize it like temporally. I have no idea how you could go about like really understanding what's happening if you take those dimensions away.
Yeah, it's hard. But people do it. I mean, like when you're doing Wheeler-DeWitt stuff, like you're essentially solving for a wave function of the universe where there is no time variable, and yet there's, in some sense, dynamics.
Is there space?
And kind of not really.
Gosh, I think the physicists must have just overlooked this, but I'm looking at the Wheeler-DeWitt equation. I found the time.
Yeah, but that's not
It was right there.
That's not an input variable. You're solving for this metric.
Oh, fuck. Wow.
So it's kind of the output.
I suppose the physicists were right. There isn't time.
Yeah.
But isn't the equation symmetric?
No. So what you're solving for?
Is it a
typically in
dynamical
physics,
system?
yeah. But so typically in physics, what you have is some equation of motion that tells you how something changes with time.
Yeah.
And perhaps it changes spatially as well. So like maybe it depends on space and time, and you solve for whatever the function is because that gives you, I don't know, how a ball moves through space or whatever. And so your differential equation usually looks like there's some number of derivatives with respect to time of the thing that you're trying to solve, and that equals whatever, F equals ma, all of that stuff. The Wheeler-DeWitt equation, you're not taking derivatives with respect to time. Your dynamical variable is not time. Or space, for that matter.
Wait, what's the dynamical variable? Is it dx?
It's some metric component. So if you're doing what's called a mini superspace approximation, where you kind of assume the universe is homogeneous and kind of like our universe, it's mostly smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Your dynamical variable is the size of the universe.
When you say size, I think that's like a spatial term.
Yeah, it is. So I mean that's why I was kind of iffy about whether or not like there is space in the Wheeler-DeWitt. Like there kind of is, but not as there's not position. There's like this variable that tells you basically the output. So the wave function depends on the size of the universe, right? So you'll get a different value of the wave function at different sizes.
Does each size of the universe correspond to its own unique wave function, or could there be two separate wave functions for the same size?
No. So the wave function is defined over all possible sizes between 0 and infinity, I guess.
Yeah.
And the wave function takes on a different value depending on, once you've solved for the wave function, of course, it takes on a different value depending on what your input size is. You input a size, you get out a complex number.
Are there any wave functions that exist other than, like, is it 1-to-1 between wave functions and sizes?
No, the wave function is the wave function is a function of size.
Okay, sure. So it takes size as an input variable.
It spits out a number.
Okay. Okay, sure.
It's very weird.
That is very weird. Sure. Okay.
And in an expanding universe, size roughly correlates with time. So you almost get time out, right?
I got
Size
time
gets
out
bigger.
when I was a kid.
There you go.
Sure. Wait, say it again.
So
I'm
in an
sorry. I made a dumb
universe.
joke because I can't cope with, like,
Yeah, tell me about it.
yeah.
So in an expanding universe, what it means to be expanding is that the size grows as the time grows, right?
Yeah.
So if your wave function is describing a strictly expanding universe, then you sort of get a time variable for free, kind of by proxy, with respect to the time.
Sure, because it's just going to be a matter of the size.
Yep.
Because as the size goes
then what
on
if
over
the
time,
universe collapses, like starts
Yep.
shrinking
Yeah.
again at some point.
That's the
Sure.
problem. If you have any sort of turnaround, your size variable no longer corresponds to a time.
yeah.
So that's where things get really messy.
One thought that this is like tangentially related, but one idea that I've been thinking about, so time obviously has like a direction to it, or at least we think it does. But I would assume that the thing that determines the direction of time would also determine the direction of change.
The way I always see it is that the arrow of time, at least like in statistics, is just away from points of low entropy.
Yeah, but then if you wanted to say something like entropy reverses, then that seems to get messy.
Sure. My description has a lot of caveats to it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Specifically in like closed systems,
Yeah.
this is what the arrow of time would be defined as.
What are the other views on like what the arrow of time maps onto, or like what grounds the arrow of time?
There's a view that, and this seems very dated to me, but one of the explanations was that the arrow of time is the direction in which electromagnetic waves get bigger rather than smaller. Like if you jiggle an electron around, the electromagnetic waves kind of move away from it.
Oh, sure.
And so the sphere gets bigger. That's the electromagnetic arrow of time. And it seems like that's probably related to the entropic arrow of time as well. Because a bigger spread of the electromagnetic field or the electromagnetic wave does have higher entropy. So that's probably correlated. But generally, there's not really a good explanation as to why there's an arrow of time at all at a fundamental level.
It seems like you would have an arrow of time even if like electromagnetism didn't exist, right?
Yeah, it seems like you should, right? And I mean, presumably this would be, there'd be an arrow of time associated with any kind of radiative process, but...
Okay, wait, so... I guess why wouldn't you just hold the... Oh, fuck, because if there's a big crunch, then you couldn't use size. That's right, we just talked about that. Okay. So... whatever accounts for like the arrow of time, is there going to be like some sort of like Wheeler-DeWitt equation that is a derivative over that?
No.
Okay.
Not necessarily anyway. So in the Wheeler-DeWitt equation, the Wheeler-DeWitt equation is time agnostic, right? Time has to, like if you're going to trust the Wheeler-DeWitt equation, then time has to kind of emerge.
Mm-hmm.
What you can do is you can say, okay, well, if time is the if it's entropic, for example, then you can derive an arrow of time from the Wheeler-DeWitt equation. But the Wheeler-DeWitt equation kind of indicates that, again, if you trust it, that there is no intrinsic there is no extrinsic arrow of time whatsoever.
Okay.
It would depend on like the boundary conditions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm tracking. I'm reading up a lot right now about the dispute between like the relationalists and substantivists and like super substantivalists about time. I don't know. Blitz, there's like a chapter of a book that came out quite recently. It's like 10 pages and it kind of like overviews the history of the debate and like the current positions of it. Would you be interested in that chapter?
Sure.
Okay. I'll send it to you. Whoa, big shout out to Diluted for sending me this. Oh, wait, I don't know if I should have said that. Because what if the publisher comes and like fucking like executes them? All right, I sent it to you. I think it's what chapter is it? It's chapter 14. It's quite good. And it gives like lots of resources, but I don't know. I'm to the point where I want to start forming views. So I want to read through all the positions.
Chapter
Okay.
10, you said?
What?
Chapter 10?
Chapter 14.
14, okay.
Yeah.
I love me a good book that's hyperlinked.
Yeah, true. Oh, wait, what was I under relationalism? Okay, let's say we had one particle and then another particle spinning around it. Under relationalism, is this an identical state to we have one particle and then another particle and then the one particle is just spinning in place?
You're asking from the perspective of so particle A and then particle B is spinning around it. You're asking from the perspective of particle B, is particle A spinning around it?
Maybe. I guess like from the perspective of the
perhaps.
relationalist, is this just the same universe?
If that's all there is, perhaps, yeah.
Okay.
Well, so to my understanding, the universe, like the rotational frame of the universe, is in one in which like the total angular momentum is 0.
Oh no.
Fuck, is that what it sounds like right before you die?
Oh,
Ah,
I guess I'm taking over now.
holy shit, dude.
I am the captain now.
Yeah.
So no,
seriously.
my understanding is that essentially, due to frame dragging, if that's all that's in the universe, like the proper reference frame of that universe is one in which the total angular momentum of the system is 0.
Okay. Yeah, there was something about that in the chapter about angular momentum being 0.
This is related to the thought experiment of like having a bucket of water in empty space, and
yeah.
Yep.
I'm familiar with this. Well, okay, but that's what I'm wondering. So let's say you have the bucket and then with the bucket you have like the curved surface, right? Because of centrifugal force.
He's back.
Okay, let's get him back up here. Okay.
Random
Thank
phone
God.
call.
Sure.
I didn't know what I was talking about. No, I'm kidding.
So for one, let's take two worlds. One, we have the bucket's spinning around. Because the bucket's spinning around, it's like a little bit concave downwards, because that's what happens when you spin the bucket. The water's like pushed to the sides. And then we have another world where instead of the bucket spinning around in the universe is spinning around the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Would the bucket be concave in this scenario if the universe is the thing spinning around it?
At least in principle, yeah.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
That's
too.
whack.
Why?
The distribution of matter in the universe is what defines like the rotational reference frame.
Yeah, I think I just don't have
Yeah.
like the physics intuitions to.
the way I always relate it to is like the concept of frame dragging with like a black hole. Because if a black hole carries a lot of angular momentum, it'll sort of drag space-time along with it. And you could sort of think of, the matter in the universe as like dragging space-time along with it, to define what that stationary reference frame is. That inertial reference frame, I should say.
Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. Fuck, this has been like super educational. I wanna compile some thoughts in this regard. And then I have so many fucking super chat. Okay, Reverend Nate, we talked about yours for like, gosh darn, like 30 minutes, and I'm so glad because I super enjoyed it. Dodging, Pooh Bear Thought, thanks so much for the super chat. Dodging like they're more God. Am I right, gamers? Is that from the fuck is that from? I want to say that's from like Baldur's Gate.
What now?
No. Oh no, Elden Ring. Yeah. Oh, Molly got it.
I'm a Baldur's Gate aficionado, so
Yeah. Lily fan, thanks so much for the super chat. Got paid today, so I gotta pay my tithe. Lesbians for Ian. Hashtag lesbians for Ian. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's get a big W for Lily. God's massager of meat. Thanks so much for the 5 months as a cool Corey. Ian, are the locks for our chastity cages? I think the locks, if I had to guess, I think Molly would have to speak to the artistic vision. She has great aesthetic taste, but maybe it's for like the lock necklace, or maybe it's for like our commitment to each other, you as the viewer and me as the streamer. Larry, thanks so much for the $50 super chat. That's huge, Larry. Thank you so much. Massive super chats like that are really helpful for me. They allow me to get all the stuff that allows me to both improve like the flow of my life, which allows me to stream more, stream better, stream like better rested. I don't know. I'm able to like go through my life and fix all of my life problems. Like recently I tried out a couple of different water bottles and I settled on this one, so I can just fill it up once and then I can know when I've drank all my water for the day, which helps me with sleep, so I don't have to wake up and like pee 30 fucking times while I sleep.
you
Cranky.
should probably get your prostate checked.
I know I should. I will. I shall. It's not literally 30 times Blitz. It's not.
Okay.
Hold on.
Is it the right order of magnitude, though?
What would be the wrong order of magnitude? Are you asking
100,
like
I would go.
if I like produce piss like ex nihilo?
What I mean is that, was 30 the correct order of magnitude?
We're
No.
gonna have another cancer scare. Jesus.
Okay.
No. Maybe it's on a bad night it'll be like 3 times.
Okay. Good. That's the right order of magnitude.
Yeah. Reverend Nate, thanks so much for the super chat. Oh fuck. Cranky old Cuber, thanks so much for the super chat. No. Reverend Nate, thanks so much for the super chat. What part of the universe did the glorious room temp IQ come from? I suspect they use lots of lead paints there. Seems to be.
Well, there is this one place in the universe, which is the coldest place not on Earth. It's a nebula. It's very, very cold. If the room temperature IQs were going to be anywhere, it would be there.
That's funny. That's humorous even. I chortled. Pooh Bear, thanks so much for the super
What
chat.
about with population inversion? Can we get lower?
Pooh Bear
Not
thought.
according. Well,
Thanks so much.
there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing. Ian, do you know who? Oh, what's his name? There's a guy who's really, really mad at me, and I don't know, maybe you. He tags me in videos all the time. Oh, Graphics. Do you know who Graphics is?
I don't check my tagged.
Oh, I think he's gotten mad at me too, I think.
He's a young Earth creationist who's convinced that I don't know what I'm talking about regarding physics.
Is he the guy that like had a bunch of thermodynamics? Like he like
Yes.
I don't know, a professor or something at some point.
He's the guy who thinks that you can't have population inversions in space.
I think it was that guy.
Anyway, Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead and continue.
No. Sorry, I was let me look through my tagged really quick. His name's Graphic. He tags constantly.
Well, I wouldn't say probably 100 times in the last 2 years.
No, I don't see any.
Okay.
I wonder whatever happened to Chris. I missed that dude. Mary Andrew, thanks so much for the super chat. I just fed my dog a peanut butter chicken ball. I don't know anything about dogs. I don't know if that's a good thing to do. You know, good job if that's acceptable, and you know, don't do that if it's not. Pooh Bear, thanks so much for the super chat. The Old Testament says God is not a human being. True. Facts. That is my favorite. I think like the killer reductio that I'm going to be running from now on against the anti-Trinitarians, who say like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all the same person, is that indeed God did impregnate his own mother. Reverend Nate, thanks so much for the super chat. Keeping Glorious up seems cruel. Jeebus is his own father and son at the same time. Has anyone seen the entire universe? These are CTE thoughts. Yep, I agree. But you know, you gotta do that to people who think that they know things, who like don't actually know things and are too ignorant to allow you to like correct them. Sometimes you just gotta crush them. I don't know. I think it's fair. I think that if somebody knows things, then you shouldn't be bad faith with them. And if somebody thinks that they know things but are totally open to being like corrected on it, you shouldn't crush them either. I think like the unique combination of like being really stupid but thinking that you're not really stupid and refusing to change your mind about that, probably you have to like jolt those people out of it. Master Neo, thanks so much for the super chat. Atheist, you talking about a changing state, but would that still apply to a fourth dimensional being existing at all time, like Interstellar? Love the show. Well, if God exists at all times, then God is just in time. So that probably sidesteps the problem and then just like directly accepts the conclusion. Flash Perez, thanks so much for the super chat. Ian's mom is so round that she's the universe. We don't know if the universe is round. You don't know that. Reverend Nate, thanks
Yeah,
so
but
much.
it could be.
Or it could not be. How could the universe be round if we're like constantly like deforming it with matter?
To be fair, it could be donut shaped like your mom.
Oh no.
And to be clear, all humans are donut shaped.
That's not
usually
true.
More than one hole, I think.
That's not. Oh, you mean like
topologically?
Topologically,
technically.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. One of the examples that Lance Bush uses to move forward in like moral discussions is he gives the example of like an alien who just goes through the universe and he wants to make paper clips, and then he comes to Earth and he's like, these would make great paper clips, and then he starts like crushing people up and like folding them into paper clips. But you know that, but for like topologically turning people into donuts.
Then they wouldn't have to do anything.
True.
The aliens would just arrive and be like, donuts. I see that you guys are already on the ball.
Banger.
Would they say ball, though?
What?
Would they say ball, though?
You're right. Donuts. Glad that you guys are already on the dinner plate.
There you go.
Reverend Nate, thanks so much for the 5 Canuck bucks. Thanks for the return on investment by bringing Quanta and Mr. Dr. Blitz up. But have you considered that your mom is the whole universe, but only for your dad? Oh, that's fucking mind-blowing. That's huge even. Wow. I hadn't considered that. Very good wizard. Thanks so much for the super chat. The greatest riches are not gold nor conquest, but to be in the company of those who think deeply. Thank you, Quantanaut, Dr. Blitz, and Ian. Thanks for streaming this and for allowing all of us to be amongst your ranks. Absolutely. You know, I love knowledge, and I know Dr. Blitz and Quantanaut do too. I just love the exchanging of ideas because there's truly so much to learn. And also, I think a good metaphysics is informed by empirical observation.
Don't speak for me. I hate knowledge. I'm just in this for the money.
Sure.
Oh, wait, when did my advisor join the panel?
Oh no. Drama.
That's a whole story.
Sounds like drama. Is the drama public?
I can't, look, my advisor quit, so
For the
I can
money?
talk about him as much as I want.
Okay. That's based. Did he get offered like a thick fucking contract at like some quantum computing
he
firm?
He begun his own startup using the allegedly using the technology we were developing in our lab.
Based. Could you imagine you're like what, like a PI or like an advisor for like a physics lab, and then you stumble upon technology that's like so fucking crazy that you actually have to go and monetize it like immediately?
I'm pretty sure that's basically just what happened. And, you know, he may have taken some of the equipment with him.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That sounds crazy. I don't know. How much would you need to get paid to immediately quit your job as like an advisor?
He hadn't even gotten tenure. He was on tenure track too.
Well, now he's like snorting cocaine off of like a hooker's stomach, so
Look, all I gotta tell you about him is that he paid for the blue check mark on Twitter, so
clearly he's made it.
clearly.
All right. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. And with that, I'll go to the very next guest. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hey, I'm the twink hater from yesterday, but I'll actually debate this time.
Oh, sure, yeah. Do you think God is real?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm also a carpenter by trade, so I really hope everything you were just talking about, I'm not tested on.
Okay. No, you won't be. It's okay.
Oh, fantastic. That's
sure.
a relief.
Is there like a specific religion that you believe in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Gnostic.
Okay. But you do think that there's like a mind that created the universe. You're not just like an idealist.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
You do think that there's like a mind separate from the universe that created the universe. You're not just like an idealist.
No, yeah, I think that Yahweh made the universe and he's an evil psychopathic god.
Okay. I guess what makes you think that he exists?
Well, I mean, I am diagnosed with schizophrenia, so I have various delusions of him talking to me. Other than that, though, I would have to say that inherently when I talk to other people, I feel as though there's something inside of them that makes me think that there's more. And I guess I can't explain it in any way other than, you know, I think that there's something there.
Sure. Is there like some series of questions that I'm supposed to ask, or like was that the punchline?
Oh no, I have no idea. Is this like a Steven Crowder kind of thing? Like
yeah, kinda. Well, I mean, you waited so long. Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to? It's okay. Like, I think it's like quizzical. I'm tickled even, but
oh, that's really sweet.
if you don't do you have like anything serious or?
I mean, I guess I don't really know what else though.
I'm not gonna even pretend to believe that you actually think that those are like good arguments. So I think it would be like insulting to like your intelligence and the audience's intelligence for me to even like try to engage with that.
I mean, I can't blame you there. I'm not really a very intelligent guy when it comes to setting up an argument.
That's like clearly not, like, I don't know. I don't think that that's true. But anyway, I'm moving on to the next one. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran as we go to the very next guest. Elianto, how's it going? Elianto, are you there? Elianto, it feels like for a second it felt like we were getting like fucking blow dried.
I believe the past tense is blown dry.
Blown dry. I got blown dry by your mom yesterday.
Ayo.
Up top, quantum.
All right, I need to mute myself.
What the fuck? Hey, how's it going?
Hello,
Yeah, how old are you?
27.
Yep. And what religion are you?
Basically Christian, not non-denominational.
Okay. Yeah, what makes you think God exists?
So I think if you're looking at everything, there's like a conglomerate of lots of stuff. So, and then all that stuff put together would be like your evidence of that God is like undoubtedly true. So like all your physical stuff. And then, do you just want me to mention a few, or?
Yeah, can I just get like a specific example? Like, what's something that you would think would be expected if God exists, but not expected if God like didn't exist?
Right, so I can choose one. Obviously, you got all your physical ones and experiential ones, and logical ones and emotional ones.
Can we get
And
like
there's-
a specific? You're kind of giving like broad categories. Could we maybe get like something a bit more specific?
Yeah, because that's like part of my argument. Because I'll give you one. I just wanted to say that like that's a part of it, like because there's so much stuff to make it more evident. But
I don't know why
I'm
more
a
stuff
flat Earth.
would be
I'm a-
indicative of
I'm a
like
flat
God's
Earth.
existence.
Yeah, so I'm a flat Earth
Okay, me too.
person as well.
But why would that mean that God exists?
Well, obviously, God is like hard to like find in the heliocentric model, right?
Oh, we're the flat Earth model.
Yeah. So if the Earth is like flat and enclosed in a dome, it's like hard to explain normally. So if I can prove that with like,
No.
all-
There's no need. I already
all in-
agree that the Earth is flat. Where do we arrive at God?
right. So I mean, I've got 20 written out here. If I could just pick one, sunset fade outs.
No.
You might not have heard of
You
it.
can skip all this. I agree that the Earth is flat. Why does that
Oh,
mean
so-
God exists?
Well, can you explain the flat Earth model using materialistic means,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
without
I
God?
have like 20 proofs for it. You know, the first is what was it, like sunset fade outs?
Yeah.
I mean, also,
No, I'm
obviously
being
there's
real.
an
You think I'm
obviously
trolling?
there's an electrostatic downward force as a result of the electrostatic gradient between the Earth and the atmosphere that causes gravity, or the appearance of gravity anyway. You
No,
can't
that's
have
just
gas. You can't have gas pressure without a container. So obviously there has to be a container. Hence, that explains why there's a gas pressure gradient between the sea level and the highest altitudes. What else do you need explained?
The electromagnetic one wasn't. I don't really agree with that one. It's more relative density. But
But that's a matter, you know, us good flat earthers can reasonably disagree with each other about whether the phenomena that I don't remember is explained by electromagnetism or the other phenomena that I don't remember.
so I can explain it with relative density. I'm not
That's
trolling.
fine, sure. But where do we get to God in this?
Well, if I can prove this model, it supports.
No, I grant the model. Where's God?
Well, he created the snow globe sort of world.
That's
Like, you
circular.
can't-
You're just saying like, okay,
No,
the
how
Earth is
can we
flat
explain it naturally?
and God created it, which means that, you know, God exists because God exists and he created it. It's circular.
Well, this is including everything else, like the physical stuff, like Noah's Ark and all the experiential people, the world, and
Noah's Ark
the
didn't
logical
happen.
arguments. And
If Noah's Ark happened, then how did the ruse get to Australia?
sorry, what's the rouge?
The ruse?
Rouge. Oh, wait. What? Are you saying it's a ruse? I'm not sure what you're saying.
How'd the kangaroos get to Australia? I'm on to you.
Oh, the ruse. Oh,
Okay.
I'm not sure. I haven't really delved into that one.
Okay.
To be honest. No idea.
Sure. But don't you think like the drop bears couldn't have possibly made the journey to Australia? It seems like they couldn't have crossed the ocean.
I don't know, but I'm serious about this flat Earth thing. Like I got 20 proofs here.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Do you want me to read them out?
No, I already agree with them. There's no need.
I got 100.
So
Grok is
so with-
generating.
with
what's the
gravity
one
and
quote from
things
Attack of
going
the
down.
Clones?
So if you take a water particle and it
A million
hits
more on the way.
water,
Yeah.
and it's like
yeah,
floating
I'm
in the
having
water.
Grok generate 1 million more. I have 1 million more on the way.
Hey, Blitz, if you take a bit of water and
Mhm.
it drops and it hits the water and it floats there, you can't measure it with a scale, right? Its
I
weight
don't-
disappears.
I don't know why, like, you're, I don't know, short-circuiting when we're telling you that we are flat earthers. We just
Yeah.
need you to prove that God exists.
Yeah, we're just like atheist flat earthers.
You think I'm trolling, brother?
I don't
said
care if
no?
you're
Said we
trolling.
think
I just don't
that
think
at
that the
all.
conclusion
All right.
follows. I think I could grant that the Earth is
Why
flat, and
is
it
the
still
world
wouldn't indicate
not
that
created by
God
God
exists.
if flat Earth exists?
Yeah,
is the world
insofar
not
as
created by
God
God?
couldn't have possibly created the world, insofar as God couldn't have possibly created time. So
But that doesn't address the flat Earth argument.
yeah, well, I'm telling you, I mean, in the flat Earth model, time always existed, which means that God couldn't have created it.
I've heard you say this one, but I haven't like fully thought it out.
Hmm.
But you're saying you know time existed like before the known sort of world. Like you're using logic, which is fine, but logic's not 100% correct all the time.
It is.
Like-
That's the nifty thing about logic is that it is 100% correct all the time.
Like for example, if someone's walking at you from over a hill, logic would say they came from directly over from behind that hill in that direction, but they could have easily just turned and then walked over the hill at you.
Well, so the
Like,
problem
you'd
is
be
that
right 90% of the time.
that's not
but-
a logical contradiction is the problem. So my claim specifically is that things like logical contradictions, those are never true. They're strictly false logical contradictions.
Right. Yeah.
I think you might be getting mixed up with the concept of inference.
Maybe. But you're still using logic.
Mm.
Like you were saying about time, that's what we think about time. But you may be wrong.
Well, I mean, at that point, you'd be left denying that, for example, like change is temporal. But I mean, in order for a thing to change, it goes from like a past state to a present state, which means that it's in time. It's in the past and the present.
Yeah, which is normal for us humans, but you're talking about God. Which is
Yeah.
completely different.
But in order for God to change, he would go from a past state to a
Yeah.
present state.
Yeah, I know, but you're talking about our human understanding.
Okay, sure. Would you disagree with that? You don't think that God, I mean,
I'm
in
not
order
sure.
for God to change, there would need to be like
I
these
don't know
two
anything about-
states, one before and one after.
Yeah, it's logical,
Yes.
sure. But I
So
don't
our
know if
best
it's
human logic
real or
would
not.
indicate that God doesn't exist.
We would think that, but we don't know because we don't know anything about God.
Okay.
Like you
Do you know
haven't
that he
talked to him, I haven't talked to him.
exists?
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, through all these things,
Like what?
flat Earth,
Well, it
physical
sounds like
things,
sounds
of
like
the
you can know
Bible.
things about God.
Well, we can infer it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Okay. Yeah, walk me through that.
So all the physical things of the Bible, stories of the Bible, like Noah's Ark,
What's
all
the
the
evidence for
logical
Noah's
arguments,
Ark?
you can go and see it.
You know that's like a reconstruction, right?
No, don't think so. Well, I don't
This is
think
like
so.
really awkward.
Are you talking about the one on top of Mount Ararat?
I'm
It's
talking about
half buried
the
in
one that's
dirt.
at like the Creationist Museum. If you're talking about the thing on
The-
Mount Ararat, well, that
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
not Noah's Ark. In fact, that's a geological structure that's younger than Noah's Ark. Also, there's zero petrified wood at that site, which indicates that this is not Noah's Ark because there would definitely be petrified wood if it was.
I mean, that's a decent argument, but I'd say there's a chance that there wouldn't be. And it's the right size, and there's other things there that correlate with it, like the bolts or whatever.
Hmm. Sorry, you think that the Noah's Ark structure corresponds to the bolts? Noah's Ark.
Well, I don't remember all the evidence is about it. It's
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm confused. If there was a flood and the flood was, higher than the highest mountains, wouldn't it overflow the ice wall and the water would just spill out?
Yeah. If
No,
flat Earth
'cause
is
the
true,
dome
then the
comes
Bible is
down, the firmament-
false.
The
Yeah,
firmament
it fills
comes
up the
down.
dome, y'all. Come on.
The firmament comes down to the edges. It's like a snow globe world and just fills up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so you're saying that it didn't come down to the? I'm sorry. Where? I'm trying to wrap my head around this too.
Well, because
Like
he's one of the old flat earthers who thinks that it's like a snow globe rather than just that there's infinite land beyond the ice wall, which obviously
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
and
believe
so
all
he
that
believes-
nonsense about
he believes-
extra lands.
He believes
just
that there's
nonsense.
a magic firmament that touches down somewhere in the ice wall, and so you could just go and knock on it if you wanted to.
Mm.
Like that's the only way we could have gas
I've
pressure,
heard what
right?
they actually think it's made out of. Sometimes they say it's like solid oxygen, which would, be very
Yeah, but we don't know.
volatile and explosive.
Yeah, like we got no idea.
Good thing that there's no such thing as lightning in our atmosphere.
But we would need that, right, to get like a oxygen pressure, to have air pressure. We would need a container.
Do you realize how explosive pure, like even just liquid oxygen is?
Yeah. I don't make any claims to what the wall firmament is made of. We got no idea. I only got ideas.
I thought you just were. You just said, where does the oxygen come from?
No, I said the oxygen, the air pressure. To have air pressure in the world, you would need an enclosed container for it all to sit in. Like if there was holes or gaps out to other lands, all the air pressure would just go out there.
Mhm.
Would just disappear.
Well, I mean, I guess like we already gave like other critiques of Noah's Ark, and also like the thing that you presented is like easily debunkable. Do you have any other
Sunset
evidence?
fade out.
Hmm?
You're talking about the sunset fade out?
No. We grant the flat Earth. We're all flat Earthers here. The question that we're asking is like, what's the evidence for God's existence? And what you said is that, I mean, the evidence for the Bible is Noah's Ark, the structure on Mount Ararat. But we've already given critiques of this. It's the structure itself is younger than the Ark would be.
So if you don't think this is evidence enough for God, how do you think the world is flat, explained without God?
What's to be explained? It's just in line with the evidence.
The laws of nature.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I
how
look
do you get the
around, I look
dome?
in front of me and I see, it's
Like
fucking
how
flat.
do you get the dome?
How do I get the dome? The dome
Yeah,
always
how that-
existed
Why?
because change always existed.
Change can't create a dome.
The laws of nature just necessitate the dome.
Doesn't nature fall into chaos? How does it create
Not
things?
necessarily. That's just what the scientists want you to believe. We know better.
It doesn't work.
It does work. What are you going to cite to disprove that?
Nature can't create things
Why not?
because it falls into chaos.
Why? What's the
I see
evidence?
nature create crystals all the time. Those are very not chaotic.
True. That's true. Can't create a dome,
Like
though.
maybe the dome's just like a giant naturally forming crystal.
But then why would we see blackness at night?
Because there's no light.
Yeah, because
stars.
the sun went off into the distance like a baseball, which is
And
what it
what
looks
about
like
the
when the
heat
sun
Maybe
from
the
sets.
crystals that it's made out of just like twinkle with the little remaining light from the sun that's off in the distance.
Hey, do
There's
you have
no
anything
mechanism
else?
for it.
Do you have any other reason? Think that God exists?
You mean apart from like all the
Oh no, the drop bears got him. Arnar. Crikey.
Man, I didn't even get to the point where I show how neutrinos prove that the Earth is flat.
Obviously, neutrinos reflect off of the white hole underneath the flat Earth.
Fucking goated.
True.
Truth nuke. All right. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. So as they have some reason to think that God exists. Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Yep. How old are you?
39. Sorry, I got off the app for
That's
a second.
okay. Yeah. What religion are you?
I'm leaning to, like, I would go umbrella theist and then maybe lean towards Christianity, because I think it's like that one kind of has the best evidence, quote unquote, I
Okay.
guess I would say.
Yeah. What makes you think God exists?
Well, I kind of wanted to talk to you about your argument from time, because that one was really getting me. Like,
Yeah.
that's a good one, and I'm trying to see if there's something I could come up with to like contend with it.
Sure.
Kind of. So the best way I can think of, your argument, like God must either exist in time or outside of time, and it's like it leads to him being contradictory.
Probably the question
Sure.
is, do you think that God was always creating time, or do you think he began to create time at some point?
So that's the good question there. And the best way I can try to contend with that is like the universe exists in one block and God kind of eternally sustains the whole space-time block at once. So
Okay.
kind of
But then
arguing yeah, go ahead.
But then he doesn't
Sorry.
actually like create it, is the problem. So
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, this is I think probably the issue with like a model like this is that God never actually brings it into existence. It just kind of always exists. At that point, like you'd be positing that the world is eternal with God, that they're just like eternally, it's just something that's like co-eternal and like eternally sustained.
Could he be like sustaining it outside of that, like sans creation, but temporal after creation, or there's just like no way out of it?
No. I think
okay.
with sans I think that you're probably on the right path with like the B theory of time stuff. I think that stuff, like the arguments that I have against that view, are going to be weaker, but it's like just so non-standard of a view that I don't have anything developed other than like, I mean, you'd be forced to say that creation is eternal with God. You don't want to say that God goes from being not temporal to being temporal. That you don't want to say that God ever exists without creation, or else you run into the problem. The problem arises whenever you say that there's like some moment where it's like God without creation. Then at that point, you do have to either choose. Well, at that point, you're forced to say that God changes. If you want to say that God always was creating, then you could end up with the view that you were describing, where creation just kind of always exists as like one big block. But there are problems with that one too.
Okay. Is this is one of the most convincing arguments for you, or?
Yeah, I don't think that there are great. I think that there seems to be lots of big problems with the models of creation, especially when you think about things like creation of time. So
yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing to consider as well, even on the B theory, one argument that I've been thinking, even if God is like eternally sustaining all of this, this like block of universe, it seems like at that point it would just like flow from his nature. But that seems problematic, because at that point we could always posit an easier explanation by saying that he doesn't have a mind. Like whatever it is that's sustaining the universe is just not mental. It's just like some sort of like underlying like physical object that gives rise in the same way.
I see. Okay. So you're kind of saying that still wouldn't necessarily get you to God, kind of, or?
Yeah, that there would be a more parsimonious explanation even under that view. Like that presumably we could say something like, there is something eternally sustaining the universe, and it's like the wave function. It's some deeper physical object.
Right.
And then if we have to
I've heard you say that
compare
before.
the wave function versus God, the wave function is just a simpler explanation.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. Okay. There is another thing like that makes me kind of lean towards theism, and then I would probably go to Christianity.
Sure.
But like some of the moral things, like this can get a little touchy with people, but just like I feel like let me ask you this. I've heard your moral argument for God, and does it allow for things like, does it allow for prostitution? Something that I feel like is bad, but it still allows for that.
I don't know. That sounds like a really difficult moral case. So I can
Yeah.
give you like some of the considerations. One of the views that I take on things like sex is that so one of the key virtues is something called temperance. Temperance basically means that you're taking the right kinds of pleasure in things, that you're appreciating when you take pleasure in something, you're appreciating like all of the dimensions. So when you sit down to eat a meal, you're not just like shoving like 200 fries down your throat. You're, I don't know, like stopping to like enjoy like the taste, the texture, the quality, the things you like, the things you dislike about like a hamburger. Like you're able to appreciate and take pleasure about things other than just like the sensation of it like sliding down your throat. That
Oh
there's
yeah.
like kind of like
Okay.
dimensions. So
I see.
I
Yep.
guess like one of the restrictions that I think that you owe yourself. I think that one of the things that you owe yourself is that you owe it to yourself to have good sex. I think that you shouldn't be having bad sex in the same way, like, you shouldn't be consuming food, like, just eating fucking 200 fries, letting the fries, like, slide down your throat, like, zero enjoyment of any of it. Um, so I think I'd have to think about that more. I'm sure that there are, like, lots of meaningful considerations there, but I mean, I'm inclined to think that insofar as prostitution is gonna lead to you having, like, lots of bad sex, that would be a reason to not do it, like something that you owe to yourself to not do. Um, but then I also think that there's, like, the caveat of, like, there are some people where this is, like, basically their only option. So, I think that at that point, like, it's unvirtuous, but it's probably better than the alternative.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, I got you. Unvirtuous, but and you're saying the alternative of having like a girlfriend or a partner or whatever is
Well, no, like,
the
starving to death. Like, if
oh,
your choices are either, like, you prostitute or you starve to death,
I
I think,
see.
like, at that point, even if there is something unvirtuous about, like, being a prostitute, you know, at that point, you're in, like a moral dilemma where your life depends on it. So, in a situation like that, I think it's permissible, even if that does lead to, something like, I don't know, like, reduced temperance.
Okay, I don't know what you mean by temperance. That one I have to look
If you
up,
want, like,
but
a good paper on this, Nira Boudoir has a good paper in the
I don't know
journal,
how to spell that, but I
uh,
can try to write it down real
yep,
quick.
Neera,
Okay.
space Badhwar, has a paper called Carnal Wisdom and Sexual Virtue, where she basically develops like the sort of idea that I'm developing here, which is that you have an obligation to yourself just on the basis of like the demands of temperance. Uh, you have an obligation to yourself to have good sex to the extent that you're capable of doing so.
And by good sex, you mean not like rape or something like that,
Well,
or would you go as
that's
far
like
as
obvious, but
okay, okay,
like
okay.
good sex, like sex that isn't like the equivalent of like shoving like 200 fries down your throat because you're like doom scrolling, and you know it like gives you a bit more
I,
dopamine, the sensation of them in the background like sliding down your throat. Like there's just not you're taking the wrong kinds of enjoyment. What the virtue ethicist wants to say is that the enjoyment of like the sensation of the fries sliding down your throat is the wrong kind of enjoyment of food, that you should be
are
enjoying like the
are you
flavor
saying that because it's
combinations and like the
unhealthy?
presentation. Not
Yeah.
necessarily. It's not necessarily about
Oh,
health. It's just about like it's okay to eat unhealthy things from time to time. You should just take like enjoyment out of it. You should enjoy it.
just but not.
There's
So
like
you're
lots of like
saying
layers that you
not
could
do it all
enjoy
the
it at.
time?
Yeah, that
If
would be a part of it.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, huh?
Ian,
Wow.
I
What?
would appreciate it if you would use the word gullet
Oh,
on the occasion.
sliding
Just
down your gullet. Yeah.
there you go. Much
Been
appreciated.
glizzy once or twice.
Yeah. Sliding glizzies down your
Yeah.
gullet.
There
There we
you go.
go.
Oh,
It's like good
that's a
it's like good
clip.
alliteration, yeah.
Well, there's several things, but maybe you have more people. But I mean, there's several things that I feel like are kind of like wrong, quote unquote, in my heart. But and that's what makes, and I know like Christianity would say this is wrong. Like, I feel like Christians say that. I don't know if I could necessarily find it in the Bible, but
Sure.
and then things like, there's other things too. We can go through different stuff if you want. Some of them might be more obvious, like,
yeah,
but or we can. Okay.
Well, also to be clear, I think that there are going to be situations where I think prostitution is totally fine, and in fact maybe even virtuous.
Okay, right. Okay, clear. And see, Christianity would be like totally against it all the time, I think. Like, even at the point where you say it would be virtuous, I think Christianity would still say it's like wrong. And I don't know.
I think that you're going to run into like really difficult situations if that's the stance that you take. There are some people that engage in prostitution because they're born in like, I don't know, like let's say you're like born in a country, it's like super like regressive. You're not given an education. You marry this person who's from the same town as you. It's kind of your only choice. You didn't really have a say in the matter. Then one day he just like fucking gets up and leaves. Now you have to take care of these kids somehow. And you're all starving. You're close to like starving to death.
What would you do if a kid was at home and he's hungry? Have you heard that song? Look it up, City High. That's what you're describing right now. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well, I don't know. I have no fucking idea about that. But
oh yeah, it's before your time. It was from like 2001.
But there's just like situations like that where I think, well, I don't know if I'd say that it's like obligatory that this person does like prostitution, maybe it's permissible for them to like starve to death with their children instead of doing prostitution. But if the choices are like you and all of your kids starve to death or you do prostitution, I certainly wouldn't think that they've done something wrong if they did the prostitution option.
But they might be like, so they're forced into it, but they still know it's wrong, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically they have a choice, but it's like a very coercive choice where it's like, okay, death or prostitution. Like,
and I guess, and then there could be another argument about why God set it up that way in the first place, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is weird that people starve.
Yeah. Well, and we have the money to feed them too, I think, but.
Yep. Yeah, true.
But.
I don't know. Problems of evil are quite compelling.
I mean, I was going to go to necrophilia next, which I think you would just probably say the well-being of the people that are still alive. But because technically, like if someone enjoys having sex with a dead body and the person is dead, it doesn't really harm the person that's dead. But,
so, yeah, I think that this is probably going to fall into like a similar category where it's like, okay, you should hold kind of like one of the main thrusts of virtue ethics is that you should take like the right kinds of like appreciation of sex, like its dimensions, and you should put everything in its right place, that different things can fit into different roles of like human life, and that like a human corpse, I don't know, to like desecrate it, the person who suffers when you desecrate it is, one, I mean, the dead person, we still value and respect people's desires even if they're dead. But two, I mean, your virtue suffers. You kind of get like a weird relationship towards like dead human bodies and just like, I guess like the human form in general, if that's what you do.
Maybe this goes back to your have good sex argument or whatever. The point you made about that.
Yeah.
It sounds like that this wouldn't fall under that because that's one of your like tenants or your premises, I guess, if you want to.
I think if I'm understanding you correctly, I think so.
Yeah. Well, virtue is in your argument.
Yeah. This would be like an unvirtuous act.
Okay. Right.
Also, to be clear, the Bible doesn't outlaw. I don't think the Bible outlaws necrophilia.
Maybe not explicitly. That's one of those where I feel like Christians would know that's wrong. I don't know. It's a weird one. The third one, I'll give you one more.
Sure, go for it.
And this is like a big one because it's. I don't know if I should just say drugs. Probably more like illicit drugs, I guess, because a lot of drugs do good for people, but because drug is under that category.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm certainly not anti. I think you would. So probably you shouldn't say that word on TikTok because
Oh,
it's
sorry.
bad for the stream.
Sorry about that.
But is there like, I probably my stances on them. I don't know. I go back and forth on this. This is something I'm undecided about. I don't know if society should be like a live and let live society, or if there should be like specific laws that encourage you to be virtuous as opposed to laws that allow you to like live and let live, and then it's just your job to be virtuous.
Mhm.
I think I would need to decide that before I would decide like where I fall on this.
I see. Yeah, it's a sort of a society thing.
Yeah, but this is actually, I'm sorry, this is a really good example of intemperance. If you're like giga addicted to a substance, that's intemperate. That would be unvirtuous on that basis.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, I'm gonna check out this author you told me about.
Oh wait, so the specific paper from Nero Boudoir, it's available on Phil Papers. It's titled "Carnal Wisdom and Sexual Virtue." It's a really good chapter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm writing it down.
Absolutely.
Carnal wisdom and what? I'm sorry.
Carnal Wisdom and Sexual Virtue by Nero Boudoir.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, man. I don't know. Those are like the three. The drugs one is a big one because the other thing with it is a lot of people are able to stay off of illicit drugs that they're addicted to, and the only way they're able to do that, I know some, I have them in my family. The only way they're able to do that is to they claim is to accept Jesus Christ into their heart, and I guess I don't know if you take this as evidence, but I know people that it's worked for them. Multiple people, like they do that and then they stay off drugs the whole time, forever. They're done. So they were like on them really hard and then they're off.
So here's like the consideration that I'd probably point to.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's permissible. So one of the core tenets of virtue ethics is that you should be understanding how things fit into place in a human life. You should understand the value of things because that allows you to have the virtue of wisdom. You can make informed decisions about how risky all of your choices are, about what things actually matter. So you're taking like the optimal choices because you're assigning things like the proper risk, you're assigning things the proper reward. And that all requires you to be very in tune with what is true. Now, there are like circumstances where I think that you will arrive at a better life if you deceive yourself, but these circumstances are already tragedies. It's like a tragedy that if the best thing you could possibly do in your current position is to lie to yourself, like something has gone very wrong. I think that these sorts of copes, like a good example of this is like, okay, let's say you got like human trafficked and you were getting like gang raped like every single day. And for that reason, like you needed to believe that there was going to be like a hell because you needed to think that there was going to be some punishment towards these people. It was the only way that you could possibly cope. I think that is like permissible and even like understandable, but the situation is already like so fucked up to begin with. Like, even if it's good for like these specific people in these specific scenarios to believe, it's certainly not good for me or you to believe, assuming that it's false.
Okay, but can we both agree that we probably shouldn't talk those people out of their?
Yeah, I mean, if while they're in the situation, probably not. But after they've like overcome the situation, then probably you should bring them back to reality.
Ooh, I don't think they ever overcome it without believing in God. I'm telling you.
I guess there's just like a lot of counterexamples to that. A lot of people seem
Okay,
to be...
sure. Yeah, you're right. There probably is, I'm sure. Well, and I would just say the some that can't do it without that, because you've heard of the 12 steps, right? And the first step is like believe there's a power higher than you, and the drug is higher than you, like pretty much. I don't know if I should be saying the D word. Sorry.
You probably shouldn't, but yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, let someone else up if there's people waiting. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. That was went through a lot there.
Hey, yeah, thanks so much. Make sure that you're double tapping on that screen. Molly, do we have any more supers? No, just Jules. Whoa. Definitely no term. Definitely no term. Thanks so much for the subscription for the first time. Everybody's dead, Dave. Thanks so much for the resubscription for the 10th month. Appreciate you. Where are my fucking gem gifters? I can't find the list, dude. This is so sad. Oh, okay, yeah. Poopman Jones, thanks so much for the gems. Slussie, thank you so much for the gems. Lou and Molly, as always, thank you so much. I'm ending stream, but if you want to join the book club, we're reading Michael Huemer's Knowledge, Reality, and Value. We're reading the chapter on deontology. It's the 15th chapter. I'd love to see all of you there. It's discord.gg/allegedlyian. It's in my Discord. Otis, I'm so sorry. Come back tomorrow. You'll be top of the list. I absolutely promise. Other than that, love all of you. Have a great time. Blitzen and Quantonaut, thanks so much for sharing your knowledge.
Thanks.
Yep.
Until we meet again.
Till then.